Welcome to the weekend live show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃 Junction, Canton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, 𝗺𝗿𝗄𝗆, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Hey, you a funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah. Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's not a doctor, but
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog that.
Let's get this party started.
It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom. Bring the noise. Go, baby, we bringing our toys. Separating from the boys. Chopper be singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 𝗃𝗄𝗆𝗇𝗃. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. Tick, tick, boom. Hard body, body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 𝗃𝗄𝗆𝗇𝗃. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 𝗃𝗄𝗆𝗇𝗃. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom.
Hey, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good, good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host. They call me Uncle Turtleboy around these parts. My real name's Aidan. Some people call me Clarence. That's my kind of Mark Twain name, I guess, on Facebook. Clarence Woods Emerson. Follow me on there. Old school Turtle Riders call me Uncle Turtleboy. I prefer Dr. Turtleboy because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor too. Sometimes some people start calling me Daddy. I don't know how that started exactly, but I kind of dig it. So you can call me that too if you want. Whatever you want to call me, I really don't care. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. and then we can be friends and we can review the stories of the week, which basically for the last 8 months has been the same story, the Karen Reed story. I've never had a story last this long before. I don't even know if I've had a show last two live shows. A story lasts like 2 weeks. This story's lasted 8 months and it doesn't appear to be going anywhere. So yeah, that's where we're going to be at. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. We just passed 48,000 subscribers. That's 2,000 away from 50. And if you get 100, they give you YouTube gives you one of those cool plaques that I saw at Tim Pool's house when I was on the show in January. So yeah, you got one of those. And by the way, we got to get him on this. I mean, where's like, you figured this would be up his alley, you know, like journal, like for suppression of the First Amendment. I know it doesn't have like the political appeal to it. It's not, because it's not a story that was like, I'm not claiming that they're coming after me because of my, conservative values or whatever. That's definitely not what they're doing here. They're quite the opposite, quite frankly. In this story, the people that I've been exposing, we probably voted for the same guy in 2020 and in several other elections. So maybe that's why, and that's sad. That's really sad that that big name outlets are just like, well, we'll only take an interest in your story if we can sell it to right wingers or if we can sell it to left wingers. That's sad. That's a sad state of affairs, that you can't be like, well, you know what? This sucks. And this is wrong, regardless of political party. We can't have journalists arrested and stuff like that. Can't do it, So, I'm not, and people, I guess people are more, some of them are more interested in Palestine, Israel. I mean, sad, Ukraine. I could give a shit less. I mean, not that I could give a shit less, but I don't feel like that stuff affects my life as much as police in my state getting away with, covering up a murder and framing an innocent person. I feel like that's a bigger story. I don't know. That's just me, but to each their own. Anyway, I'm sure we'll get on to the, next. We do have, like, there is an election coming up, believe it or not. There's like a primary election, which, got like 6 months ago or 8 months ago, I'm selling DeSantis gear in my store. Like, I was so into Ron DeSantis, and now I don't know what the fuck happened to that thing. I look like it's all the Trump shit. It's all the indictments were the best thing to ever happen to Donald Trump politically. And to me, it's like, well, maybe arresting me was maybe the best thing that happened in my career too. I don't know. We'll see. But that appears to be a foregone. I mean, I'm still going to vote for him, Ron, but he ain't going to win. Let's be honest. He's not going to win. Donald Trump's going to win the nomination. So it's going to be a rematch all over again of 2020. I can't even get that into it. We'll see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. But anyway, that's I did watch bits and pieces of it, and yeah, it was cool. It was like, I feel like as a DeSantis guy, I feel like he owned him, but it's like, who gives a shit? No, what does it matter? What does it matter? Anyway, I find I just don't have, time for any of that stuff. I don't have time for politics or any of that because I've been way too invested in the story, man. Way too invested in this story. So anyway, without further ado, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow us all on our socials. They're in the bio below. If you'd like to contribute to the program, you can do so. But you can't do a super chat because speaking of politics, I had the wrong opinion about President Biden's vaccine mandate last August of 2021. And I vocalized it on this channel, and you can't do that. If you do that, they don't let you accept money from people because you're a bad person. And you might think that you're giving money to a person that you support, but you're a bad person too. So we can't even send money back and forth on this channel, which is fine, because those crooks take 30% anyway. So we went and built our own platform, because that's what you got to do with this day and age. You got to be like Elon Musk. Go fuck yourself. Just go build your own platform. That's what we did. We're also on Rumble, so check us out on Rumble. We're live on Rumble right now. Shout out to the 240 Rumble rats watching over there. All right. Boston Mass says, I can't stop thinking about Laura and JP. We're definitely going to talk about that tonight for sure. We're definitely going to get to that tonight. But you can click at the link at the top. It's called Turtle Chat. Donate whatever amount of money you want, and you get to write a message. I'll receive that message in my inbox, and I'll read it out loud to the class. You can also cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy and do the exact same thing. So I got a couple turtle chats I could start with here. Paula sends $10 and says, for informing, educating, and standing up for so many with your voice, we ain't got no quit. Well, I appreciate that, Paula. I try to educate and I try to, stand up for what's right and inform. And, I don't feel like a criminal. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, like, I don't feel like a criminal. I feel like most criminals probably feel like criminals in their heart of hearts. Like the guy who robbed the bank, he might try to get away with it. He might try to fight it and say he wasn't him or whatever. But I feel like in his heart of hearts, he knows he robbed the bank. I feel like the guy who killed someone in their heart of hearts knows that they killed someone. The guy that stole a bunch of money from or scammed a bunch of elderly people, like in his heart of hearts, he knows he's a scam artist. I just don't feel like a criminal, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't. I just don't feel like one. I don't feel like I broke any laws. I just don't. Like, I came on this, like, I had no idea. It was unbeknownst to me that coming on this show and making phone calls to people whose numbers were on public documents and like cracking jokes occasionally while doing so was actually a felony. I got to plead ignorance. I didn't know that was a big deal. I really didn't. Like, I didn't think it was, because guess what? No, not shut the fuck up. Guess what? For those of you who are new here, I've been doing that for a while. This isn't new. Like, this is a felony now, wait till you go see the old tapes. I've been doing this for quite some time. I went back last night and I watched some of the Monica Cannon Grant protests in 2020. Maybe we'll watch some of those later, where I go down to Violence in Boston headquarters and we literally stand there heckling Monica Cannon Grant and Marty Walsh and all these other grifters. And it's the same script. It's like, this is what I do. I write about people who are doing bad things. And if they keep doing bad things and no one holds them accountable, I show up with a camera. That's my thing. This is nothing new. But apparently, they believe that you can't do that it's against the law to show up with cameras around anyone who's the special class of citizen in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts called a witness. A witness. They have special rights that no one else has. The First Amendment does not apply to them, or at least your rights no longer exist. Your First Amendment rights no longer exist as long as they are within eyesight, just arbitrary eyesight. You can't be within eyesight of these people. That's what they want us to believe exists in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I feel like that's unconstitutional. So I'll tell you what, we're appealing the denial of the stay away orders going away. That's one thing. Obviously, we will be appealing in the SJC because there is a higher authority. And like my attorney says, if it's not addressed in this court, it will be addressed in Boston. And if it's not addressed in Boston, it'll be addressed in Washington, D.C. Because if we can't do this, then we don't have a country anymore. We don't have a constitution anymore. Because like so many journalists out there are criminals immediately as a result of, if this is not overturned. So we are it's almost a good thing that they've arrested charged these 9 people, or trying to charge these 9 people, because that just gives 9 more cases to attack the statute from. Like, the statute itself is unconstitutional. You cannot have a law. You can't have a law that says, again, let me just read the statute on this. The Massachusetts witness intent. I'm just going to read this to you, because there's no way in Sam hell that this can last. This law conflicts with the First Amendment. It's just undeniable. It says, whoever willfully, either directly or indirectly, threatens. Okay, we can all agree threatening is bad. Like, you should not be allowed to tell a witness, I'm gonna kill you. And mean it. You should, like, that's bad. If you testify, I'm gonna kill you. You can't. I agree. That should be illegal. No doubt about it. Okay, not a problem. Attempts or causes physical injury. Okay, so I agree. You should not be allowed to go up and punch someone and be like, yo, change your testimony, I'm gonna knock you out. And then they don't change their testimony and you knock them out. I agree. That should be illegal. I'm pro that being illegal. But this is the problem. Emotional or economic injury. Like emotional or economic injury. Like, I got bad news, guys. I literally cause emotional injury for a living. Like, has there ever been anyone I've published a story about who has not been emotionally injured or does not claim to be emotionally injured from the story that I write? That's literally what I do for a living. Okay, so-and-so is, like some pedophile I'm writing about. Oh, he got caught trying to fuck a 14-year-old boy or some shit in a sting operation by one of those pedo poachers. And I write about it. Well, he's emotionally injured, isn't he? I emotionally injured the shit out of that guy. And that's like, what? So if he's a witness in some fucking trial I don't know about, that's a felony? And that's the thing, the Ryan Waters thing, dude, like as funny as it is, Ryan Waters filed a criminal complaint against me for witness intimidation a little over a year ago, and it was a joke. It was a huge joke. He basically said, and this is not, so Ryan Waters is a borderline homeless man. I think he's homeless, who sues me a lot as a pro se. He sued me so many times I can't count. I always win. Tried to file criminal complaints against me, orders, you name it, just abuses the court system. And Ryan Waters filed a criminal complaint for witness intimidation against me because he said that I wrote about him. No, I apologize. This is what he said, that he was suing me in something ridiculous, some absurd lawsuit that was going nowhere. And he decided that he was going to start naming people that I've written about as witnesses, like Christina Yakimovsky, who I've written about before, wiretapping, being a huge cunt, etc. I wrote about her, and Ryan decided he's going to call her a witness in his case. And he said that me writing about Christina Yakimovsky and then showing up at her court dates and asking her questions outside, which I did on film, he said that's witness intimidation. And I laughed. And the magistrate laughed. The magistrate's like, there's no probable cause for this. This is insane. You can't just be like, well, this person's a witness, and so this man no longer has First Amendment rights. That's and so I got to get that in writing for the magistrate. Because like literally this case has already been fought in court by me and I won. But like when the state police, because the state police bring a criminal complaint that is basically the same thing as what Ryan Waters did. The state police bring the same thing, but because they're state police, it's taken seriously. Like, this is madness. So the statute goes on to say, right, that so it threatens, attempts, or causes physical, emotional, or economic injury, right? Okay, so they're going to argue that I haven't threatened or caused physical injury. They're going to argue I've caused emotional or economic injury, which is just completely unconstitutional. You're allowed to cause emotional injury. You're allowed to cause economic injury. People cause economic injury all the time to businesses when they leave bad Yelp reviews, when they say this place sucks, when they protest, you know what I mean? When they boycott a place, when they cancel it. It happens all the time. The proper venue for that is civil court. Sue them if you have an issue. It's tort law, I believe, or defamation, whatever. So that's one aspect of it. Against a witness or a potential witness. That's the other part of the law. A potential witness? The fuck is a potential witness? Who isn't how do you define a potential witness, and who isn't a potential witness in this case? And that's a good point. The United States boycotts other countries. Yeah, literally. Or like, yeah, ask Elon Musk. If Elon Musk has had a plethora of advertisers leave Twitter because of Media Matters bullshit. And so is that witnessing? So if he's a witness in a case, or a potential witness, or a family member of a witness is also covered under the statute, then those media matters committed a felony. And people keep saying, well, how is 𝗃𝗃 𝗵𝗃 a witness? You guys, you don't actually have to witness the murder. Nobody actually did. They all claim they didn't, at least. Many of them did. But they claim they didn't witness this murder. So they're like, people are saying, well, how are they witnesses? No, that's not being a witness works. Being a witness is like anyone who was interviewed by the police during this investigation is a witness. Like, there's witnesses you guys have never heard of before. Anyone that was on that trip to Aruba with them, like a month before John died, is a witness. Anyone who was at the waterfall bar that night, the bartender that night, is a witness, because they've been questioned about this. And another question about this, not that I think this should happen, if in any other situation, if a bar overserved someone and that someone went and got in a car and then killed someone, that bar would lose its license. It happens all the time. I don't think that 𝗃𝗵 𝗵𝗃𝗺𝗃𝗃's, or I don't even think they got served at the waterfall. I don't think that 𝗃𝗵 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃's should lose their liquor license. No. But if they actually believed that that was the cause of John's death, they certainly would. But they don't actually believe that. That's how you know. The fact that they're not going after the bar. Right? Exactly. Think of the Blarney Stone in Worcester. Read about that. My favorite watering hole for years. Is a great place to find, nice, mediocre Worcester sixes. Great place. But stiff drinks for $4, a little too stiff, because some kid there got plastered, got in his car and killed some guy outside of Worcester State College. And then now the Blarney Stone no longer exists, because that's how it works. So back to the statute before I go off on these tangents. Yeah, of course it's economic injury to me. Oh, it's totally economic injury to me. I mean, think of the way I've been injured. Like, that's why we're going to try to sue their asses when this is all said and done. But that's not witness intimidation. So the family member too. It's just like, so that's how Elizabeth, what is a family member? Is a second cousin a family member? Who does that extend to? Your sister's uncle's brother? I mean, what is a family? What about stepchildren? Okay, so that's one aspect. They have to be a witness or a family member of. You have to have threatened them or caused or attempted to cause emotional or economic injury. So that's basically everyone. With reckless disregard, that it may, number one, impede, obstruct, delay, prevent, or otherwise interfere with a criminal investigation at any stage. How are they going to make that happen? So we're going to be filing what's called the bill of particulars for a bill of particulars. The criminal complaint and the charging documents are basically a list of things that I've said on this show and things that I've said at protests. And then they cite the statute, but they don't connect the dots. They don't say, well, here is how these words violate this statute. So we are filing a motion for a bill of particulars that will force them to explain how A gets to B. How is this a violation of this? They have yet to do that. So we don't even know what we are going up against here, because they haven't explained how that they're going to argue this in court. But certainly we have not impeded, obstructed, delayed, prevented, or otherwise interfered with a criminal investigation. I mean, how on earth can they argue that? I don't know. That seems unlikely that they're going to be able to argue that, because we have not delayed this at all. I mean, they may argue. I mean, who knows what bullshit they'll just make shit up, but I can't see how they would prove any of that. Oh, here's the problem, or the snafu, or, so you can do that. You can say that they impeded, obstructed, delayed, or prevented, or otherwise interfered with the criminal investigation, or punish, harm, or otherwise retaliate against any such person described in this section for such person or such person's family members' participation in any of the proceedings described in this section. So what that means is that I don't even know what it means. What does punish mean? What does harm mean? Like, how do you define punish or harm? How do I have the ability to punish any of these 8 individuals? How do I punish Michael Proctor? Do I spank him? Like, how do I put him in timeout? Like, how do you punish Michael Proctor? How do you punish Jennifer McCabe? Like, by saying that she's not the prettiest woman in Canton? I mean, how do you, by putting her on a t-shirt? Is that punishment? Harm? Like, how are you punished? How are you harmed by this? You have not been harmed. Where's the bruise? Like, where's the scar? Or otherwise retaliate against. And that's the good retaliate. What is the word retaliate? Let's find out the legal definition of the word retaliate. The word retaliate means make an attack or assault in return for a similar attack. So how am I retaliating against any of these people? They have not done anything to me. Right? I mean, prior to this, they'd done nothing to me. So how am I retaliating against them? For their participation in the proceedings. At no point did I've made it very clear. I want all of these people to participate in the proceedings. I want them to testify. I want them to tell the truth. I'm interested in hearing why Jennifer McCabe Googled how long did I in cold. I'm interested in hearing why Michael Proctor didn't disclose that he's close friends with all these people. I'm interested in knowing what time Colin Albert left the house that night and what evidence there is of that. I'm interested in knowing who threw the first punch inside that house. I'm interested in knowing these things. You can ask these questions. That's all I've done this whole time. So I don't see how they're going to do this. I'm like looking at this statute. I have read this statute inside and out. Again, they got 2 options here. They can say that I impeded, obstructed, delayed, or prevented a criminal investigation. That seems pretty hard to do. This investigation has not been slowed down at all. If anything, it's been accelerated because of me. When I interviewed Lucky Loughran, like they got lucky, like they were able to get Lucky Loughran because of me, because I wrote about it. And then they interviewed him 2 days later. And they had a printout of my story when they came and interviewed him. Or this one, they'll probably go with this one: punish, harm, or otherwise retaliate against any such person for participating in proceedings. But how are they going to prove that? I'm not retaliating against anyone. Retaliate means that you are doing something in response to someone doing something to you. They didn't do anything to me. I'm not retaliating, and I'm certainly not doing it because they're participating in these proceedings. So it just seems, man, it just seems that it is, it's going to be hard to prove. Anyway, so we could talk more about that. I do have court Tuesday. As of right now, I have a Tuesday, 2:00 in Stoughton, but we're also filing motions with the SJC because if we're going to try to overturn the statute, we are going to pick up little things like the stay away orders are unconstitutional. Like there is no basis for these stay away orders. The things that I'm charged with at all is unconstitutional. So we bring it that way. We'll be filing a motion to dismiss, which will be large. The odds that I'm going to be indicted for this are like, I would say 98%, 99%. And the odds that there will be new charges that I'm indicted for are 95%. So they will be adding on. Just throw them onto the pile at this point. I would prefer if they didn't arrest me, right? That's ridiculous. There's no need for that. But if they want to arrest me, Daddy's not scared. I don't give a shit. It means not. I've been in cuffs before. I'll be okay. I'll be good. I'll be out so quick. My soup will still be warm when I get home. I'll be good. I didn't mind jail when I was there for a little bit. I don't want to stick around there too long, but it was something to do on a Wednesday, to be perfectly honest with you. And next time you guys will all be there. So there's that. There's that. And yeah, anyway, yeah, more mug shots. Maybe I'll do it. What should I go for the pose if I do a second mug shot? Should I do do you get to do a second one? I feel like this one's so serious. Like this is daddy's ready to fuck, you know? I think like daddy's ready to watch his, daddy's ready to go bowling. How about that? Just say, like a big smile or duck face. I could do that one. I don't know. I got to work on my smile. We'll see. Anyway, we'll be good. We'll figure it all out. Even Billy Tibbetts knows it's full of shit. Even Billy knows. He knows what's up here. Has Kirk, somebody says Kirk invited you on? Where did I see that? I haven't, no, not yet. We'll see what happens. Maybe he will. Anyway, he's doing the barstool thing right now anyway, but the Heisman, I could do the no, because I'm handcuffed for it. We'll see. All right. Do the you can't do the Canton salute because your hands are behind your back. By the way, keep me updated on that Louisville, Florida State game, please. Big, Alabama, man. The dogs are out, Georgia's out, Ohio State's out, Oregon's out, and it's down to 5 teams because Alabama beat them. Alabama beat Georgia. And I assume Michigan's just going to wax Iowa. So that means Michigan's going to be undefeated. Washington's going to be undefeated. They're both going to get in. They're going to be the 1 and the 2 seeds. The 3rd seed then is either going to be, right now it's probably going to be Texas. And the 4th seed is either going to be undefeated Florida State or Alabama, the SEC champion. If Florida State wins tonight, I cannot imagine that Alabama gets in, which would be fucking wild. The SEC champion is left out. There's 2 1-loss teams in the SEC and neither gets in. That would be crazy. The situation going on in the Florida State game right now is the only, that would be wild. Like if there's any case that an undefeated team should not get into the playoff, it's Florida State because they're on the 3rd string quarterback. They got 3 points. And everybody in America knows that Alabama is better than Florida State. And that if Alabama were to play Florida State, they would be 2 touchdown favorites. It's just a fact. So, do you want the 4 best teams in? I don't think that's the way it should work. I think it should be the 4 teams that earned it in. Florida State has earned it if they go undefeated. So keep me posted on that game. I think Florida State should get in if they win. They cannot put Alabama in over Texas because Texas beat them. That's their 1 loss. So keep me posted on that one. Please. That's just my thoughts on it. But again, everybody knows Alabama's better than Florida State. I'm not saying that. But Florida State, you cannot keep an undefeated conference champion, ACC champ out. You can't do it. You can't do it. Anyway, so back to this. And yes, Michigan is number 1 if they win, which is good for them. They get to avoid, I'm sure they would rather have Florida State. Much rather. Anyway, so let's back to the donos here that I was reading. So thank you for that, Paula. We got Rose sends $10, says free Karen, free Aidan's phone, free John Connolly's dietitian, free Adam Lally's shampoo. You know, there's a lot of it. Oh God, picture what his hair looks like when he comes home, dude. It looks like a white Christmas every day. Just comes home, goes all the white shit falls out everywhere. Cheap hair gel. And free Chris Albert's pepperoni man. Seriously, pay that man. Pay that man. Oh man, we got a bunch of turtle chats here. I'm just gonna bang through some of them real quick. Lisa sends $10, says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yes, it is. I appreciate that, Lisa. Linda sends $50, says keep fighting the good fight, Aidan. We love you. It's go, 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 go time. I love you too, Linda. I appreciate that, and I'll keep fighting the good fight. Lem sends $100. Thank you, Lem. Says to the McAlberts, but more specific. I can't. So this is not me saying this. This is Lem saying this to Jem McCabe. He says, Lem says, congratulations. She has single-handedly made fools of herself, the select board, the Canton police, and the state police in the entire town of Canton, and the ever so humble Michael Morrissey. They may think they have hoodwinked the dimwits from Boston Magazine and the Globe, But what about Dateline in 2020? That's a good point. And let's not forget, I'm also shooting a documentary. Like I've not been secretive about that. I am actively working on a major documentary with a major multi-million dollar, very well-known production company. And that it is going to go out to the highest bidder for a streaming service. And it's going to be big time. And how's that going to turn out? I don't think it's going to be like the Boston Magazine article. I don't think it's going to be like that. So you can have Boston Magazine, they can have Boston Magazine. They can have Boston Globe, I guess, to take it all. But it's not the same as Dateline in 2020 and, whatever doc I'm doing. Goes on to say, do you really think you fool them? People like them are their bread and butter and not as the victims. Special kudos to Jen's sister for her stellar performance, securing Emmys for both networks. Seriously. Amanda sends $10, says, hey, Daddy, I pray that these monsters are put where they deserve to be, which is in prison with the rest of the animals. After listening to the 911 voicemail call, two things. Number one, Jen is literally a disgusting human who doesn't deserve to still be walking free. Number two, hearing Karen's desperate cries for help breaks my heart. Yeah, that's tough to listen to. Justice needs to happen now. Daddy, keep exposing these monsters and who they actually are. The last thing, guess what? Shut the fuck up. I mean, I remember 6 months ago, these people were just jealous. Like 6 months ago, the people who are now trying to take me down for this, they were just jealous about the page views. Like if you go back and look at it, their primary argument 6 months ago was, he didn't break the story. Court TV broke the story. Like they weren't even saying that the McAlberts were innocent. Like they just started pushing that when they're like, oh, wait, if we pretend to give a shit about the 𝗃𝗃𝗃 family, then we can kind of simp for the Albert. And then we, oh, poor Colin Albert. They started doing the poor Colin Albert thing and poor Jen McCabe. That was a new strategy that they developed in July. Okay. Scott sends $10 and says, your honesty is great. We need it. Well, thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate that. Katie sends $25 and says, I got this fortune with dinner tonight. Give it away so it won't be there when they try to get it. Signed by someone with the initials HR. Weird. Yeah, do that with your cell phones if you're one of the Canton 9. Just saying. Caitlin, $10 says, lots of love from Holden and Leominster. Oh, local. Do you think Chris Albert will resign before or after the completion of the audit? Chris Albert will never, ever, ever resign in a million years. Ever. There's no chance. If George Santos didn't resign, he had to be literally voted out by his own party, then there is no chance that Chris Albert is ever going to resign. $10 from I'm That Loza Eve says, is there any details about what John reported to Canton detectives about drugs in his neighborhood? Yeah, so there was drug deals going on right at the corner of Meadows and Meadows and Pleasant there that John had reported to Canton police, none of which I believe were known to involve Colin Albert, not the drugs. Colin Albert has definitely had issues with them, threw beer cans on his lawn. His parents came and fucked with his Ring camera when he was on vacation. But yeah. Cynthia sends $20 and says, happy to hear that Ted Daniel is taking an interest in the case. Yeah, we're going to start with that in a moment. Amanda sends $10 and says, wait, I already read this one. Okay. So appreciate that one, Amanda. That was one about the 911 voicemail. Jen sends $50 and says, fighting for John and the truth. He was an amazing man that deserved better. Yes, he was. John, I didn't know John, but I know as a fact that John was a turtle rider. Several of his friends have told me this, and I do have proof of that as well, that when this is all said and done, I am going to share, but I'm not going to share it until after this is all said and done. And wait till you see it. You are going to laugh so hard. It involved a story in 2021, and one of the witnesses, let's just put it that way, you are going to laugh your ass off. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 sends $10 and says, how about a horse face mugshot? Yeah, when they come out for sure. $20 from a Melissa says, love you, Doc. Turtle rider since conception. Nice. And Garrett says $10 and says the Florida State quarterback coach is from Holden. Nice. He's killing it. Small world. Keep up. I mean, he's had a busy job this year. That's for sure. Maintaining this. I mean, Ohio State, when they won the championship in 2014 with, was it Cardale Jones? That was the third string quarterback. So you never know. A couple cash apps to bang through here, and then we'll talk about the other stuff here. Marianne sends $25 and says, will Fox Monday report affect your Tuesday case? We'll talk about that. Jane sends $20 and says, Jackie Dugal is a free Karen Reed, is a clown. Jackie Dugal is a clown. We're going to talk about her too. Free Karen Reed. Thank you, Jane. Rich sends $25 and says, the end is coming for all these scumbags. Hashtag karma. You're absolutely right about that. So if anyone else wants to donate, by one more here from Mrs. Whistledown sends $25 and says, keep up the great work. What's the latest on Higgins? Higgins lives in Sandwich. And as far as we know, he is likely, I don't know if this is a fact. I'm assuming he's testified in front of the federal grand jury and that he's a cooperating witness for the government now. That's what I'm guessing to save his ass, but I have no proof of that. But I think he's one of the first people that they got. Okay. So if anyone else wants to donate, link is at the top for Turtle Chat or cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. Let's get into this, the meat and potatoes here. Okay. So if you guys didn't see it earlier today, somebody caught this on Boston 25 News last night. It's not on their website. It's not on Twitter. Ted Daniel hasn't shared it or anything like that. But a turtle rider caught it and filmed it with their camera, just filming the TV. Check this out.
Karen Reed, the local woman accused of killing her boyfriend. A Boston police officer got investigated. Investigation. What 25 investigators learned.
I don't know why the audio is like that. Why is the audio like that?
Boston police officer got investigated. Investigation.
They're not investigating the murder. So this guy, it just says former federal prosecutor. I don't know his name. It just says, I'm assuming that if they interviewed, like they brought the guy into the studio, he's wearing a suit. He must be something. I have a hard time believing he's not a former federal prosecutor. He clearly knows what he's talking about. And I'm sure we'll find out who he is. But he says they are not investigating the murder. They are investigating the investigation of the murder. Who's been saying that this whole time? Oh, right. Me. This is literally what I've been saying the whole time. They are not here to solve the mystery of who killed John O'Keefe. They know who killed John O'Keefe. They know, but they can't. It's not their job to prosecute the people who killed John O'Keefe. That is Michael Morrissey's job and Michael Proctor's job and Brian Tully's job and Bukacki's job. And they have not only failed to do that, but they have intentionally and knowingly covered for the people who did it and framed an innocent woman in the process. That's what they're here for. They're not here for Colin Albert. They're not here for Brian Albert. They're not here for Jennifer McCabe. That is why all these people have been summoned to come to the. There's a reason that the hold on, I gotta write down some notes so I don't forget this. Okay, there's a reason, right, that the people who have been called in front of the federal grand jury do not include, that I know of, Adam Lally, Michael Morrissey, Michael Proctor, Yuri Buchanan, Brian Tully, because they are the targets of this investigation. There is a reason that I know is a fact that Colin Albert has been called in front of the grand jury, and Allie McCabe, and Caitlin Albert, and Brian Albert Jr., and probably Brian Albert. Actually, no, definitely Brian Albert. I know as a fact Brian Albert has, and Jennifer McCabe has. Those people all 100%. I have sources in Moakley who have confirmed this. Nobody denies this. So they've all testified in front of the federal grand jury, but none of them will be prosecuted by the federal government because they're incapable of corruption. They're capable of murder, but they're not capable of corruption. That's because they don't possess the ability to do that. They're just the protected parties in this case. And so I've been saying this from the beginning, that they're not here to investigate the murder. They're there to investigate the investigation of the murder, which is a much bigger deal because they don't do small murders. Now, who would do the murder? Like people are saying, are they going to get away with it? No. How this would work is the attorney general then would appoint a special prosecutor in a different county. They cannot be tried in Norfolk County. Clearly would appoint a special prosecutor in a different county that would prosecute them, whoever is responsible for this. Now, it might be too late to find out who actually did it. Someone did it, but because the crime scene itself was never analyzed. I mean, wouldn't that be a bitch if Michael Proctor and Michael Morrissey went out of their way to protect Brian Albert, and at the end of the day, they went to jail and he didn't? Wouldn't that be some shit right there? I would laugh. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it would suck. I hope they all go to jail, but I'll take some. I would feel fully vindicated if just the people that covered it up did it and the people that actually murdered it didn't. I would prefer that Morrissey, Lally, Proctor, 𝗵𝗂𝗆, Tully, I would prefer that they go to jail over the others, even though I think the others are all shit scumbags. Colin Albert, because Colin Albert is going, let's be honest, like he's going to kill again. Like he's going to do something bad. There is no way that Colin Albert, who is a psychopath, clearly, who knows he can get away with anything and thinks he's protected like Jesus Christ, he's not going to stop. He's going to hurt someone else. Yes, and I would literally laugh my face off if that actually happened. Like I'd be like, it sucks for John, but at the same time, like at this point, like we're obviously looking for justice for John. We want justice for John. We'd like that. But if his own family doesn't give a shit, then I mean, what am I? I mean, how, you know what I mean? Like, how much am I? Because his family doesn't give a shit. Oh, you can't say that about his family. Oh, I just did again. Clip it. Definitely, his family clearly doesn't give a shit because they're much more concerned about me. As soon as I saw his mother and his brother at my arraignment, which they're not a party to, there's nothing. They're not witnesses or victims or anything, and they're there just sitting there with this smug look on their face. I'm like, okay, I really don't give a shit if they get justice because they ain't gonna show up anyway. Like they can't show their faces at the federal, at the indictments of they can't go anywhere. They have to pretend like all this never happened. There is going to be, it's going to happen, guys, one day. I hope you know that. Just because it hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen. And when it does, I hope you got your screenshots. There's a lot of people who have put their entire reputations on the line for this. Oh, leave Colin Albert alone. This is a crazy conspiracy. Screenshot it all, baby. Screenshot it all. I think it's a target letter. Ooh, you think that's what it is? Let's talk about that. You got it. I mean, dude, 3-0 at the half. If this game ends up in 3-0 or some shit, you have a Alabama. That is their best shot getting in. All right, so that's that. And some people have said, you know, oh well, it's your story, Turtleboy. They're jumping on it late. I don't think like that. I want them to steal it. Like this is the one I want to be stolen. Take it, run with it. I've gotten enough credit for the story. Quite for everybody knows that Turtleboy is the driving force behind the story. That's fine. I've been cited in enough places for this. I got arrested for it. I got enough publicity for the story. I'm good. So I want another mainstream media outlet to run it. I would do a sit-down interview with Ted Daniel or something about this. Give him all the clicks, all the views he needs. I want someone else to be as passionate about this story as I am. And I think the closest we have is Ted Daniel. Like, he has been, as far as the corporate media goes, he has been at every hearing. He asks decent questions, I think. Not stupid questions like, did you do it, Karen? Steve Cooper. Or, did you really make $5 million? So I think he gets it. And I think that my arrest really shook him up. I think that was just like, oh, wow. Like, that's fucked up. Like, the guy who has been screaming corruption about the state police, screaming cover up about then those same people he's been accusing, arrest him and then steal his devices so that he can look through their sources. I think that offends Ted Daniel. And I think it offends a lot of people because they're like, that's insane. So, and keep in mind, not everybody reads Turtleboy. Like, they should, but they don't. Right? Not everyone's on social media. Not everyone's in the Justice for John and Karen Facebook group. You know, it's 25,000 people, but that's not that many people. You know, it could fill up the TD Garden, but it can't fill up Gillette Stadium. And it's, you know, we need more people. So a lot of people, especially older people, they watch the nightly news and they read the newspaper. There's still people that do that. And it's important to reach those people. It is, period. And also, like, I have been very pro-defense because I'm pro-truth. And a lot of people perceive that as bias, which it is, because I'm only one side has the truth in here, so I'm biased towards them. So you can't make, and so people will dismiss some of the things I'm saying as like, oh, well, he's just biased. He's being paid by the defense, whatever. Of course, it's all untrue, but you can't make that statement about Ted Daniel. I mean, they're going to try. That's coming next, but it's not gonna work the same way. It's not gonna have the same effect. So, you know, I've been critical of them, but I think my arrest sparked something in Ted Daniel because he started doing some public records requests shortly afterwards. And here's one on, oh, by the way, another one that he did was he requested my, he asked me this outside of court. He requested the body cam footage from Brian Tully on the day that he arrested me. And he also requested the cam footage from my transportation from Holden to Stoughton, which, I don't know, it's like an hour and a half of me sitting there. I can't, I don't pick my nose or anything because my hands are in handcuffs. I make some small talk with Trooper Tryon, and we talk about how much the Patriots suck. We talk about that. I think they had just lost 34-0 to the Saints that week, or maybe it was the Cowboys. I don't remember. Like, we suck. That was the general consensus. I asked him about the Waze. He almost crashed when he drive down. I'm like, I go, how are we he goes, oh, I'm using Waze to get down there. I'm like, oh, really? I go, what time does it say on your Waze? He goes, it says 82 minutes to get there. I'm like, no. I mean, what time does it say right now? And how does that time match up to your iPhone? That was a question I asked him. I don't think he knew where I was getting with this, but I was curious because that was right around the time when they were saying that John's Waze data had a different timestamp than the iPhone data. That his Waze says he was like a quarter mile away from the house when his iPhone said he was in the house. And so I was like asking him questions about that. And he picks up the phone when I'm driving and he like looks at me like, and then the next thing you know, the car, the trooper car in front of him starts slamming the brakes and we almost crashed into it. Because when you're a state trooper, I guess everybody just slows down around you. That must happen a lot. So that was pretty crazy. So I was trying to, like, while I was under arrest, I was trying to get information out of him. Yeah, it almost worked too, but then we almost crashed. So, you know, my journalism while under arrest with my hands behind my back. So I hope Ted Daniels gets that, the video, because you're going to get me. We almost crash because I'm asking him about the ways. He didn't know what I was doing, but I almost got him. Yeah. So Ted, you know, the fact that he's doing that, it's like he's interested in this. And I think, like, why would he ask for Tully's body cam, you know? And they gave him a hard time. And I think he's offended by that. They refused to give it to him. And then he appealed it with the Secretary of State and he won. So he's getting that. So I guess we are going to see that. Also, so now what he's asking for, another thing he asked for, was he asked for any correspondence between any staff of the Norfolk District Attorney's Office and the Department of Justice referencing identified individuals. He made this request on November 1st. So he's looking into something clicked with them. He's like, wait a minute. If these people have emailed before, those are all public. So how did you get the records requests? So this is all public, believe it or not. Dude, Turtle Riders are so resourceful. So there's a link I can post. I should have just posted it in the story, where you can just look up anyone who's ever requested anything. Anytime you do a public records request, that in and of itself is public. It's subject to being requested. So I just searched Ted's name on there and see everything he's requested. He's requested a bunch of shit in the past for stories. And so it's all public. And this is good shit that he's looking for here about any stat. And it took him 4 hours to find one response provided and record provided on November 14th. Okay. Now, here is the actual. So, by the way, so they said that they had it on November 14th, but they wouldn't give it to him because this is what these assholes do. And wait do you see they did it with me too. So it says here, this is the letter. So Brandon Hunt, who is the biggest cunt, he's an attorney for the Norfolk DA's office. And I'll show you the emails I've had with this clown. He's like the records guy. And he is CC'd on this letter from the Secretary of State's office. And it reads as follows. Attorney Hunt, I have received the petition of Ted Daniel, Boston 25 News, appealing the response of the Norfolk County DA office to a request for public records. On November 1st, Mr. Daniel requested any letters, emails, or correspondence that the Norfolk DA Morrissey or any members of his staff has sent to any DOJ entity that mention identified individuals. It doesn't say who those identified individuals are, but we can assume that if you're Ted Daniel, he probably put a bunch of people on that list. Brian Albert, Jennifer McCabe, Michael Morrissey, Adam Lally, Michael Proctor, Brian Tully, Uri Buchanek, Nicholas Garino, John Fanning. The list goes on. Or any similar versions of those names. On November 14th, the office responded and identified a single responsive record. Oh, please. It's got to be more than that. How much you want to bet they're hiding more? The office withheld this record pursuant to exemptions D, C, and F of the Public Records Law. Unsatisfied with the office's response, Mr. Daniel petitioned this office, and this appeal was opened as a result. So Ted, they tried to say to Ted Daniel, nope, you can't get that. It's top secret. Impounded. That's what they just like. They're so corrupt. They just impound everything. And you're like, why is this impounded? Remember what Jim McDermott's answer to me was? Because. It's because. Remember when I tried to be like, hey, yeah, this line's recorded. I'm not going to be recorded. You don't have a choice, dear. You're a public servant. I can record you if I want to. So it goes on to say, it is my understanding that the office intends on providing a subsequent report to Mr. Daniel. Accordingly, the office is ordered to provide Mr. Daniel with the response to his request in a manner consistent with the public records law and its regulation within 10 business days. And this was on, what's the date on this? November 29th. So they had 10 days to get them this. Maybe they got it to him real quick because that was this week. And we'll see. Now, what did Jen Altman say? What was your guess about? What do you guys think that? Oh, I remember what she guessed about what she thought that this was. And I like this guess, and this is a guess, that it's a target letter. That could be it. You know, you are a target of an investigation, blah, 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 blah. Who knows? Who knows? Could be a lot of shit on those. I have a hard time believing it's just one correspondence because I know as a fact, I have sources. I had a source contact me within the DA's office who told me that Chris Albert is a regular in there, that the FBI agents have been in there on 4 separate occasions. And I said, is one of them a woman? And he said, yes. And that's how I knew he's legit because the lead investigator for the FBI involved in this is a woman. And, I know who the prosecutor is, who will be prosecuting this. I know who the U.S. attorney in charge of this is. I know a lot about this federal investigation, and they can pretend that they don't, and blah 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 blah. I hope you put it in. I hope you put it in writing because we're screenshotting everything, baby. We're screenshotting it all. We're gonna be dancing on some graves when this is done. But anyway, the fact that they would, openly violate this law just kind of shows how untouchable that they really think they are. And it's emblematic of everything they've done in this investigation, that they can just say with a straight face that there's just 3 minutes of footage missing from the Canton library tape. And they just don't test evidence and tissue samples disappear from arms. And I don't know, where do I even start with the whole bunch of other shit? And they can just get in court and be like, yeah, Michael Proctor has never met them before. I mean, that's just arrogance. That's the kind of thing you do when you think you're untouchable. So when I hear that the FBI is in their office and stuff like that, they're not even scared of them. They're not worried about it. They think they're untouchable. They think they're not going to fucking prosecute us. The district, that would be unprecedented. What do you think you're doing? But again, these are also not smart people. You heard Michael Morrissey talk. That is not an intelligent person. These are not intelligent people. So yeah, like I said, our sources have, reported seeing agents in the office and have been asked for cell phone communications from employees, and that the district attorney's office was not complying with what they were asking for. This is the same office, again, where the spokesperson, David Traub, bragged in private DMs. Remember those DMs where he's like, oh, big things are coming. Bombshells are coming. It never came. Same guy who literally asked out Gretchen Voss, a reporter, for dinner, hoping that she would, write something favorable about his office, and referred Gretchen Voss to Jennifer Kofendafer as a source. Yikes. The fact that a federal investigation into the people in charge of this investigation is shocking in and of itself. Like this, if they announce this, because I've been saying this for a while. And what is their response? What are the Hold on. I need to get a drink of water. Hold on. Be right back. I'll play you a video real quick. Let me find a funny video to play here. Any funny videos? You call yourself a turtle. A turtle. Where's your award?
But I've never lost to him in court, right? One time, I had a temporary harassment order that was not extended. Obviously, 3 years later, we can look back and go, maybe it should have been extended because he didn't fucking quit, right? That's not a loss. It's not a lot. It's not a win or lose situation. What the fuck is wrong with you? You go into court because you ask for protection, and that's it. Now, meanwhile, Aidan has tried to get harassment orders on me. I've went 3-4 times now. He's never gotten a temporary one because I've never fucking harassed the piece of shit. And he's never had one issue at the 2-party hearing. Never happened. If anything, I wait until it's legitimate harassment, which is why, as far as going in ex parte as of right now, I am 2 for 2. I am fairly confident, unfortunately, and I will say this, preface this, unfortunately, I am fairly confident, unfortunately, that when the court date rolls around, and he's the one posting about all this too, like I did not post about this fucking order, put it up, tag him, brag. I didn't want to make it like that. I just wanted to protect my fucking kid. That's all I wanted to do, right? Not make a show of it. But he has to because he's a piece of shit, right? But
okay, that she seems stable. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. I apologize. I don't even know what that one was, but I just needed a drink. Anyway, back to this whole thing. So, like I said, if they didn't think anything, like a lot of these Kevin, you should never get your. I don't think anyone actually takes Kevin seriously. Luckily, ever since the SimCity recreation, what happened to John, which is just too good. I mean, Kevin doesn't take Kevin seriously. Kevin is just looking for any sort of attention. It's weird because he does this act every day where he's a serious person, but I know that Kevin in his heart of hearts knows that he's not a serious person. He's just a local. He's just a guy who lives in his parents' attic, who, was a creepy guy. Because I used to go to the bar that Kevin owned, Leitrim's in Worcester, and he was like late 30s and I was early 20s when I was going there, and he lived upstairs in this apartment, and I heard some horror stories about that apartment. Like it was like younger, it was all like 21-year-old girls that would go to this bar, like some, under minors would go there too. And not minors, like below 18, below 21. And it would just get plastered. There's white girl wasted shit. And there's creepy Kevin. Hey, you want to come up to my apartment? I'm the cool guy with the apartment. It's just a weird guy. And now he's like a true crime expert. But anyway, if you listen to people like him and 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏, who is taken seriously, unfortunately, by some people, they've told you that the grand jury's over, guys. They return no bill, and that's a word you don't know, but they're experts on this, and they know there's no bill. No. The grand jury is far from over. And by the way, you can convene a new grand jury. You convene a grand jury doesn't mean the investigation's over. So I know as a fact that the U.S. Attorney's Office is actively has never given up on this. Now, do I think they're working on it Monday through Friday? No. They have if you go on their website, they bust people all the time for shit. They got a whole bunch of other cases. But this one, I think, is on their thing of not letting, we have to indict before trial. That is what I've believed. I don't believe that they're going to let this go to trial. I do not believe it. Yeah. So if you're getting your news from Kevin, you can know as a fact that this is 100% wrong. That this is 100%. The investigation is ongoing, and you can bet your bottom dollar that they are not going to let this go. I mean, I published some examples from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Massachusetts this week. These are things in their headlines this week. Former public school technology manager charged with damaging school's computer network. Okay. An airman pled guilty in connection to a June 2023 cyber attack. Okay. So he went after his old employer. Florida man sentenced for money laundering. Okay. Local magician pleads guilty to kiddie porn. Yikes. How about this? Former Marblehead postal worker sentenced for conversion of government money. Yikes. LA man convicted in large-scale marriage fraud scheme for illegal immigration. Ooh, Ilhan Omar might finally, things might caught up to her. I don't know. Lynn man sentenced for wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Okay. He was sentenced for submitting false federal loan applications and using a stolen identity to rent an apartment. I mean, this is what they do. If they're going after all this shit, guys, I got news for you. They're not letting the murder cover up. They're not going to let that one slide. They're not. They know what happened. And all this shit that Alan Jackson's attorneys have to that Karen Reed's attorneys have to file motions for, geofence, and can we get this phone records and Rule 17 motions and blah, blah, blah. And then they get denied by Canoni and blah, blah, blah. The FBI just goes into any of these places and they're like, we'd like this. And then they just get it. I guarantee, I don't know what the fuck the FBI has, but they know shit that we don't know. They know a lot of shit. Because how else did they know about Ally McCabe? None of us knew about Ally McCabe. She was never mentioned by Alan Jackson or any of these people in court ever. And then all of a sudden, in September, we find out that Ally McCabe was Colin Albert's getaway driver. But she picked him up 10 minutes before John got there. That's what they tell us. Picked him up 10 minutes before John got there. And they have a text message to prove it that Gretchen Voss fell for. I mean, come on. So the mere fact that she has been grand juried, how the fuck did they get her? Again, the only thing that makes sense to me is geofence. They got their phones. They found out where their phones were at all times. All of a sudden, Ally McCabe's phone pings at the house. Oh, so now she's got an answer for that. Why did Caitlin Albert get grand juried? According to Caitlin Albert, pop quiz. I bet some people know this. According to Nicole Albert and Brian Albert's interview with the police, what time did they tell them that their oldest daughter, Caitlin, left 34 Fairview Road that night? What time did Caitlin Albert leave 34 Fairview Road according to her parents? Let's see who knows this one. Yeah, you guys are so fucking good. You guys know this story like better than everyone. Everyone's just like 12-15. That's like rookie shit. Everybody left at 12-15, right before John got there. They all got out of the house at the perfect time, so they can't be witnesses. So if she got out of there at 12-15, then why is she testifying in front of the grand jury? Because she didn't get out of there at 12-15. And they have evidence of that. That's the only reason that Caitlin Albert's there. I guarantee you that right now is that they and Brian Albert Jr., they have proof that every single person who was called to testify in front of the federal grand jury was inside the house when John got there. They're not stupid. They know John was in the house. They know that Apple Health data is reliable. They're not dumb. They're not like some of these other idiots on TikTok. They're not they're not wasting their time worrying about that. They know. They're not interested in that. They know John was in the house. They know all these motherfuckers were in the house. They don't give a shit who beat him up. They just want to know which institution covered this up. That's what they're there for. That's what they're there to find out. That's what they care about. So they know, we've known for a long time that this has happened. We've also known about, what else have we known? We've known about the fact that, hold on, let's start from the top here. Let's go back. Okay. So we've known that Jennifer McCabe and all these people had to testify, right? They're not going to testify if they are not if they don't have something to offer. Like, so what is Jen McCabe? Because again, they would have a Fifth Amendment right in there if they were the ones under investigation. They're not. They're going to be able to say, yeah, I was there. They're going to have to tell the truth. They're going to have to tell the feds the truth. And the feds aren't interested in them. They're interested on why did Michael Proctor say otherwise in his report. That's what they're there to do. They're there to know. Did Michael Morrissey know this? Really? Then why is he still going on with this? That's what they're there for. Yeah, the forensic data. Okay, we talked about that. I also know from a fact, from my interview with Lucky Loughran, that they did confront him with the FBI did confront him, and they told him that GPS data from his plow puts him in front of Fairview Road at 2:30. We know that FBI agents went to Bridgewater State with the subpoena for Colin Albert on April 10th. So he did not become a target of the FBI because of me. He became a target of the FBI because they know he was in the house. So yeah, let's see. They covered all this, looking at their website, all this shit. They're not letting this go. Yeah. And also keep in mind, right? Joshua Levy, I think his name is Levy is pronounced. This guy's a straight arrow. This guy, if you read the Rachel Rollins ethics report, he was frequently cited in that report as urging her not to break ethics laws. Like, I don't think that's a good idea, Rachel. He's the straight shooter in this whole thing. He's got a stellar reputation. And just think of it for selfish reasons on his part, right? Like, this is a career-defining case for him. You get on Dateline for this. You become somewhat famous for this as like a huge reformer. So this has professional implications for Josh Levy, that this is going to be the biggest case of his lifetime. There's no way he's just like, yeah, I'm going to let it go because I'm going to cover for Brian Albert. No fucking way. No way. No way. So yeah. Do you guys have any questions about this before I get onto the Jackie Dugal stuff? Anybody have any questions about any of this? I'm curious to take any, actually, Josh, he's defended mobsters. Okay. Wonder if they actually testified or pled the fifth. Yeah, exactly. Can they? I don't know if you can. I don't know how that works at a federal grand jury. Can we just, I keep saying like, who is Eric Bell? Can we just mods? I don't like it when people, again, I'm a free speech guy. I don't like when people derail the conversation. And it's once I see other people start talking about people in the conversation, then we're no longer talking about what we're here to talk about, which is this case. So I see too much shit about Eric Bell in the comments every time I look. So why don't we just ban Eric Bell? Eric Bell is a lunatic. I've dealt with him many times before. Time to ban Eric Bell. Okay. So there we go. You don't get to monopolize the conversation, period. I don't think it's coming down soon. I think it's coming. I think they're waiting. I think they're waiting until like a week before the trial. That's what I think. I've always thought that. What about Steve Scanlon? What about him? I need real questions. 3-3. Oh, this game's getting better. This game's getting even better. Oh, yikes. Okay. Let me read a couple turtle chats before we move on here. Keith sends $25 and says, how much longer do the McTurds have out of jail? Your guess is as good as mine. Brianna sends $10 and says, will the documentary come out before or Kearney's trial? I doubt it. Charlene sends $25 and says, you and Star Driving are fabulous. Enjoy another Domino's on me. Well, thank you very much, Charlene. Yeah, check out my Facebook post. I met the Domino's driver that came to my house the other night as part of the prank phone call. And I took a picture with him. He's a nice guy. His name's Edward. And Erica Madden tipped him $50 and paid for the pizza, which is really generous of her. She's the owner of the Star Drive-In, and she's hosting an event and is looking for vendors. I'm going to make a post about it this week, December 14th at the Star Drive-In in Taunton, right on Route 140, I believe. So yeah. Let me read some more. More turtle chats here. Nurse Sarah sends $5 and says Sean Kelly is a cunt. Yikes. Okay. Steve sends $8 and says Monday is going to be very interesting. I am very interested to see what the feds got to say on Monday. I mean, like what? It better be something decent. But you know what? Either way, it's a good thing, because to the average person watching that, they're going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This isn't Turtleboy saying this anymore. This is Boston 25 News. And they're saying that the district attorney's office is under investigation by the FBI. Whoa. Even just being told that, like, that's big, man. That's an announcement. That's good reporting on the part of Ted, because I've reported this shit, but I've never posted like a document. I mean, that there was the one of Colin Albert being subpoenaed, but other than that, I haven't posted like a correspondence. So that's good, man. I'm happy to be out reported. I'm happy to be. I got enough fame and credit for this shit. I don't need that. I want justice. I want action. That's what I want here. And the second that this happens, selfishly, my problems go away and Karen Reed's problems go away. Because the charges will get dropped within minutes, probably. You can't, because the people prosecuting me will be the targets of this. And you can't, obviously, they can't continue anymore. Like I would be, I mean, I would be I get to give a victim impact statement at their trial. And oh my God. The things I'm going to say to these motherfuckers, I haven't forgotten. I'm a vindictive cunt. Let me tell you. So it goes, my guess is during the trial or at some point, the McAlberts, Proctors, and Commonwealth excuse when they fail as friends do favors for each other. Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to work. Keep up the good work. Don't back down. Thank you very much. Doc sends $5. Okay, so you send me a long thing here. Okay, and Doc, I can't read the whole thing for $5. Like, if you want me to read a long fucking thing, you got to send more than $5. Sorry. He says, so 2 things. The database that you're finding those letters in, the appeals database, the state maintains every time an appeal is made. Okay. This is far from unusual. Municipalities. Okay, it's a long thing here. So again, I appreciate it, but I'd be here all night if reading that. So thank you very much. And maybe I will read your message later on, though, to myself. Chris sends $50 and says, I have tried listening to the 911 call with and without filters. I'm a 1000% free Karen Reed guy. I just can't hear all others talk about it. Please tell me. Okay, we're going to play the 911 call again, because I have an enhanced version that was sent to me from my friend Valhalla, whose show program that I recently went on, the baker, the based baker, I think is Herbie Duggan sends $20 on Cash App and says, shout out to Aunt Chris from Junior, # free Karen Reed. And Herbie works in law enforcement. He knows, he's one of us. So yeah, appreciate that. If anyone else wants to donate, the Turtle Chat is at the top. Link to the top, or you can Cash App me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. So you can do that either way. Okay. Yeah, I did notice that too, man. The trolls on Twitter got real quiet today. You know why though, Mike? It's because they're having a little meeting and they're like, so what bullshit lie are we going to come up with to spin this one? They're waiting for 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗃 and Krusty Panties. Those are like their leaders. And like, how are we going to spin this one? What are we going to say? Like I guarantee you next they're going to smear Ted Daniels. Oh, nice. Florida State touchdown. Sweet. I want Florida State to win because I love chaos. But yeah, they're going to smear Ted Daniels and they're going to be like nothing burger. Nothing. He's just looking for his 15 minutes of fame. He's trying to be the new Turtleboy. But you're right. They did get very, very quiet all of a sudden. So, okay. So there's that. Okay. All right. So what was I gonna? Oh, the 911 call. Let me bring this up. I got this. Let me play this enhanced version of it one more time.
Yes, I need someone to report his 34 Fairview Road is getting out that they man trapped out in the snow. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
I don't know why.
He's dead.
He's dead?
Okay, I know. Where's the blanket? I don't see blankets, Terry. Yes, I need something.
He's freezing. So there's a man passed out in the snow, not a friend, not a Boston police officer, not a guy I was with 6 hours ago. No mention of the fact that she's at her sister's house. She makes no attempt to go inside the sister's house. She doesn't volunteer that information to the dispatcher because the dispatcher will likely tell her to go inside and get help from the people inside and get resources from the people inside, including blankets. The dispatcher asks her for blankets. Carrie does not appear to have blankets in her car. And yeah, so where are the blankets, Carrie? So they've cut down on the background noise, which I kind of don't like this version as much because John is 46 years old. It says he's 46. Somehow she knows that. You got what he's. He got out of the car, and it could be an hour. She says he got out of the car. She never once told any cops that John O'Keefe got out of the car. Now all of a sudden she's saying he got out of the car, right? Because she needs to make it seem like Karen Reed ran his ass over. So he got out of the car, but it could be an hour that he's been out there. Could be. Or 5.
I know, I'm on the phone with Andrew. I know.
So that's obviously Karen. You gotta stop. You gotta stop, Carrie says. Fuck you, Carrie. What are you doing, Carrie? Exactly, Jewel. There it is. Again, most important part of the tape is right here. So again, this is not, we've been over this before. This is not the actual 911 call. This is an audio recording, a voicemail from John's phone. Karen Reed was calling John when she went to the house and she saw his body. She threw the phone down. It kept ringing and it went to voicemail. And then it recorded a 4-minute voicemail of what it picked up in the car and some of the stuff outside of the car, like Karen yelling. That's why it gets the whole 911 call and the windshield wipers. And after Jen hangs up with 911, according to her call log, about 10 seconds later, she calls her sister Nicole and talks to her, who answers her call, and they talk for 7 seconds. They have a 7-second conversation. And this is what it picks up. Something's coming out to help, or no one's coming out to help, or fucking coming out to help. Brian's coming out to help. Doesn't matter. She's saying coming out to help. And the mere fact that she's saying out to help, coming out to help, means that like someone's in peril. Someone needs help. And she's communicating that message to the person inside the house. And she's saying that there's a guy in your front lawn who needs help. So whether she's talking about the ambulance is coming out to help or don't come out to help, whatever she's saying, now Nicole Albert is aware that there's a guy on her front lawn who she was just with at the bar 6 hours earlier and is a Boston police officer. And she's fully aware of this, and she never comes outside. And Brian Albert never comes outside, a first responder. That's all that matters. It doesn't really matter that much what she's saying there. What really matters is it's undeniable and she's whispering it. It's notably lower. She does not want that to be heard. And she's calm. And Karen, it's juxtaposed that with Karen screaming in the background. That's the difference. Oh, the detractors, they have an excuse for this though. Oh, she's just, no, some people are just, Karen's acting and everybody reacts differently. Motherfucker, do you watch Dateline? Every episode of Dateline, the 911 tape is like the strongest fucking evidence. And it's like, I've never heard anyone like that on a 911 call. Just so cool. Like not even like people like she's comes from a family of first responders. She's probably not her first 911 call. Bitch. You know what? This woman is a wine mom. She's not seeing dead bodies on the regular. What you talking about? What you talking about? So there's the 911 call. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Jackie. One more turtle chat here from Jay. Sends $10 and says, can an expert enhance Jen McCabe's voice and clear out the background noise? I'm down to donate. You know what? I'm sure Karen Reed's defense team is probably all over that. I'm guessing. Just saying. Just guessing. Okay. All right. So let's talk about our skank there, Dugal. We got to talk about her. She's a real peach, huh? Okay. Oh, God, look at her. I don't know. Somebody came out. I don't know how I missed this nickname. How are we not calling her Jackie Chin? How are we not calling her that? I know she doesn't have one, but it's just the perfect nickname for her. Anyway, so this is Jackie Dugal. She's a local cop mom who has a business, fit mom, where she like does, yoga on or whatever on Facebook, and she's a coach or something. I can't imagine she has many clients, but she's just one of these people who kind of gets off on being a cop's wife, I think. Loves it, loves her house, loves her little boys and whatever the fuck, whatever boys, girls, whatever she has. Just loves that life, and she hung out socially with Karen Reed prior to John O'Keefe dying, because that's what couples like John and Karl worked together and they were buddies. And, so Karen's associated with that. Now, I don't know if they didn't like each other or what, but she's turned into like a raging cunt when it comes to Karen Reed, and is clearly blinded by that. It doesn't care about any of these facts. Comes to Karen's court dates. There she is. Her and Karl insist on coming to the court dates and just getting like, booed. We just boo the fuck out of them, as we should, because they're horrible people. Let's not forget, Karl Dugal's a Boston cop who in, I forget what year it was, not too long ago, he got in trouble because he wrongfully arrested the wrong black guy. There was a black guy he was looking for, and he's like driving around. He's like, oh, there's a black guy. And he just arrested the guy, and it was not the right black guy. And the guy was detained, and I think there was some inappropriate force used. And I guess just all black. We got to find this. We got to watch the Jackie Dugal BLM tape. If you guys haven't seen this, I can't assume everyone's seen it. Jackie Dugal BLM. I got to find this one. Karl Dugal. How about that? I know I have it here somewhere, right? I'll find it. Give me a minute. Does anybody know which number that was? TB Daily News. Jackie Dugal BLM. I know I wrote about this somewhere. Or Karl Dugal BLM. Send it over if you guys can find it. Oh, Boston police. No, how about this one? What's this one? The complaint I filed with the post commission against her. God damn it. No. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Let me read the comments. It was alive too. Did I not publish a story on that? Huh. Anyway, it's fucking great. If anyone has that video, if anyone can find that video, I know Turtle Rise are good at it. Please send me that video, because it's freaking priceless. Because she does this whole thing where she gets on and she like cries. She's like, it's all about her. Guys, I really like black people. And it's just so sad about George Floyd. I'm so sad. But I'm also the wife of a cop, and I'm also so sad for him. Bottom line is, just pay attention to me. Me. Listen to me. I'm so sad. Everything makes me sad. Being mean to police makes me sad. And, killing black people makes me sad. I'm just sad by it all. I'm a sad. I'm going to cry, and just pay attention to me. That's all she cared about. It was basically like, it was so cringe. Like the definition of cringe. And just narcissism. Like, why are we listening to you? Why do we give a fuck about anything you have to say? Anything. Oh, we're getting one message here. Did you find it? Check your post around July. No, I don't need to check post. Just send me a link. You guys find it because I'm doing the show, and that's bad radio. If I sit here and I'm like looking for shit and find it, I need you guys to find it and just send it to me, and the thing will go a lot more smoothly. That'd be cool too. It was on our IG, but I played it. Keep in mind, I played it on the show, and they're saying I played it around July 30th. I think I played it way before that. But if you can find that show episode, I guarantee when the show's over, I'll have 25 people send it to me, and then it'll be too late. So, but yeah, so I did write about Karl back in the day. Karl Dugal. This is what Karl said to me back in the day. Keep in mind about, and I'm reading the comments here. So he messaged me on April 20th. I think he messaged the Turtleboy page on April 18th. I'm getting a message. Let's see. I wonder if this is somebody's got it. Let's see. I bet you somebody got it. Try episode 602. Send a link if you can. Yeah. If you can find it. So it makes the show go more smoothly. So anyway, so again, if you guys can find it, please just send a link. That's all I need, a link, because I can go and look for shit myself. But what we're trying not to do here is create dead air where I just sit here and look shit up and then talk to myself, and because that's just bad radio. So that's where you can come in and you could find it and you could just copy and send it to me. That's it. That's what I need. So anyway, so let me read this out loud. So he messages me on April 20th. He messaged me at 4:20 on 4:20. Come on. A cop did that? Come on. He's trying to send me a message. That's a signal. That's a subliminal shit. You're going to message me at 4:20 on 4:20, Karl. I know what you're doing there. Karl. So he goes, "Hi, Mr. Woods. I've been following along the last few days and wanted to talk, if possible. Appreciate it. I would like to know the truth about what happened. Whoever left him to die on a front lawn in a snowstorm, whoever left him to die. That doesn't sound like a guy who has made his mind up, does it? Again, send it. Please just send the fucking clip. Copy, paste. I got it. And then we can fucking play it. Copy, paste, send. There we go. Anyway, so, because again, I'm doing the show and 2,500 people are watching. You just copy, paste. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then we play it and then it's done. There we go. Okay. Anyway, he goes, I would like to know the truth about what happened to whomever left him die in the snow. That doesn't sound like a guy who is convinced about what happened. But then he goes, I think you can make your point without the photos. His niece and nephew could see it. And I got so sick of hearing this. His niece and nephew could see it. Dude, they're going to have to see the autopsy photos eventually. Like, okay, hopefully this is it. Again, now I'm getting like, please stop. Just send the fucking link. I don't need, like, people keep sending me, oh, check this video out this time. No. Copy, paste, send. That's it. Copy, paste, send. Just send the fucking link. That's it. Oh my God. Is it on 602? I had no fucking clue. Can you fucking send 602 to me? Jesus Christ. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go get it now. I got it. Okay. Somebody followed directions. Thank you, 𝗼𝗂𝗧𝗂. I got it. Let's play this part. Oh. Okay, so the 2-hour mark. So good. That never gets old. with John's ex, Lindsay there. She works at Canton High School. She's with them. And she's actively bullying Karen Reed. So here they are. Dude, this is him when he ran the marathon. They're holding the John O'Keefe signs like fucking assholes. Okay. You want to watch a funny video here? So she's like Fit Mom. She's got a little business. And she basically goes on YouTube, and she probably doesn't make that much money doing this, I'm guessing. And, does her thing. Now, she is a raging liberal, as it turns out, which is weird because most of the people in this are conservatives. Most of these assholes are conservatives. Because I went on her page, it had like RBG on it, like all this stuff. And which is weird because she's usually the cop wives. They're like, usually they're conservative. And this is on June 1st of 2020, right after George Floyd died. We got to watch this speech, dude. This was too cringe. Just watch this. Well, let's have a good laugh. Here we go.
Say that I
told your mom that.
What the hell?
Hi everyone. I just wanted to say that I have been thinking a lot this week and just didn't really feel like I wanted to do a workout. I've actually been on a couple of runs recently, just
good for you.
To kind of clear my mind and to try and think and reflect on things.
Okay, about George Floyd.
Tough, obviously, 10 weeks with this whole thing, but then, this
with COVID,
unfortunate, terrible murder took place.
This murder took place? Like, she's talking about George Floyd. Like, the murders take place all the time. And she's sitting here like, oh my God, I'm so affected by George Floyd. I'm so affected by it. Oh yeah, we want justice for George Floyd. I mean, is his name George? Was it George Floyd, right? What was his name?
Yeah, it was George Floyd.
Was it George Floyd?
Yeah,
Am I getting his name wrong?
Yeah, no, you got it right.
It's been too long. I know it's the patron saint. I forget.
That's right.
It was George Floyd, right? That was his name?
Yeah, that's right. You got
Someone correct me.
No, you got
if
it.
I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. George Floyd.
I don't want to fuck this guy up.
No, it's George Floyd. You got it right.
Okay, it is George Floyd.
That's
okay,
right.
thank you. I thought I was thinking of Cliff Floyd from the Expos.
No, oh no, he was
Maybe.
he was on the Red Sox.
George
too.
Floyd.
Yep.
So she's really affected by this, guys, and she can't even do her workout today because she's thinking about George Floyd. It's really bothering her.
And rightfully, people are upset and angry and just fed up. And I feel like I'm not in the mood to work out.
She's not in the mood.
Usually do, so
because
of
George Floyd.
Like
what? She can't work out. It's your job. Your job is to go on Instagram and work out. That's it. You don't really have to do anything. It's not like you're making money, but like pretend you are.
Oh my God.
And that's it. And she's like, she can't work out because of George Floyd. It really bothers her. Oh, this is so cringe. It goes on.
So I just wanted to say that I will be back on Saturday. I'm going to, I do love weighted workouts. Kind of gets my mind off things too, gives me a little energy. So I will be back on Saturday.
Thank God. Good. Thank God. Thank God.
To know that,
Thank God.
It's okay to kind of like take a step back and reflect and think and listen and learn about events that have been taking place for a long time in this country. And
what's that?
The people who are affected.
That was too good.
Wait, the people who are affected. Okay, stop right there. Can we just talk about how funny this is, just for a moment?
Yeah, let's do
If
it.
you guys will remember, her husband, Karl Dugal, like this has been happening to people for a while. She's talking about black people and cops are doing it to them. That's what she's saying. Cops have been killing black people since the cows come home, she's saying. What does her husband do for work again? Oh, right, he's a cop. Oh, right.
This guy's good.
Isn't he part of the problem then?
It's a good point.
And not just any cop. If you'll recall, her husband got the city of Boston sued, and they had to settle for $12,000.
The fuck out of
because
here.
dumb Karl was out looking for a black guy one day.
Get out of here.
And he arrested the wrong black guy.
Get the fuck out of here.
And just because I guess to Karl, all black people look alike.
I guess so.
So he just goes around. He's like, I need a black guy.
Like Cliff Floyd.
Anyone will do. I wrote about it. Go search it.
Cliff Floyd, George Floyd, whatever.
The city had to settle for $12 grand because they inconvenienced this guy by arresting him one time because he just picked up the wrong black guy. So your husband, of all the cops, like I don't know what percentage of Boston police officers have gotten the city sued for arresting the wrong black guy, but
like 5%.
Probably like 1%, if that.
More like 5.
Like, so of all, like they say, most of the cops are great cops, but then there's a couple bad apples. Yeah, that's Karl. That's Karl. The one he's the one they're talking. The guys who just go around and picking up black guys.
Yeah, he's the bad apple.
That's the problem cop. Karl's the problem.
You're right.
He's not one of the good ones.
No, he's good point. That's a good point.
Like, it's so fucking ironic. It's so like, this is one area you can't go near. You can't do Black Lives Matter.
That's true.
That's off limits.
It's fair point.
Because Karl got sued for arresting the wrong black guy.
I feel like we
don't go there.
We don't talk about
it. It's like R. Kelly doing like PR work for like respecting women or some shit. Like, what? You can't do it.
Or rape
You're
culture.
Gonna look silly.
Rape culture.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's listen to this. But look at how she's very upset.
That's a serious face.
Look at that face.
That is a serious
Look
face.
at that face.
It's genuine.
Oh, and yes, it's okay to laugh at her because she's a cunt. Sorry, I said it. It's okay
You don't have to
laugh
apologize.
at her.
You don't have to apologize.
There's nothing wrong with laughing at her. It doesn't make you a bad person. She deserves it.
She kind of
because
does.
she is a mean girl.
She is mean.
She harassed Karen Reed and
anonymously
John's other ex, Lindsay, outside of court.
And she fucked with Summer.
She thought she could do that with it. Like she would do this to you in a heartbeat. She deserves this.
And she deserves
to be mocked and ridiculed because she's a bad person. Look at that face. Look at that face. Pretending to be sad about George Floyd.
This guy's making some great points.
Another situation too where my husband is a police officer.
Oh, yeah.
And I do know that
I love this guy.
The majority of police officers in this country, especially here in Boston, are doing all they can to help us every day in and out. And
not the black guy that he arrested. That guy didn't do too well.
No, not at all.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Look at her.
Rapport between
look at her.
The community and the police. That needs to change.
Oh,
you know why there's a bad rapport between the community? She means the black community and the police.
Why?
Because people like your husband go around picking up stray black people and throwing them in paddy wagons.
It's a good point.
Without making sure they got the right black guy, without asking for ID.
You got to find the right black
guy. That might help.
Yeah, got to be the right one. Can't
my
be any
God,
black
the
guy.
face. The face is
gotta,
too good.
Got to be the right
face
black
is
guy.
Too good. Look at the face.
She's
so, look at her.
I hate being afraid for my husband. I'm sure this is how these people have felt.
These people.
This is how this black community has felt.
The blacks. She
for
says.
Their significant others and husbands, and it's.
She says the blacks.
Yeah, because cops go around picking up. Like, oh my God, oh God, it's just too funny. Look at her. Look at that. She's so sad for guys.
She's so upset.
Guys, she's so sad for black people. She's so black people.
She wanted to shine.
No, this face right here.
She signs some
feels your pain. That, like, if you're ever down, black people, just know that. I want all the black people out there to know this. Okay, if you're ever feeling sad or like scared, just know this face right here is thinking about you. That she's thinking about you. Well, her husband throws you in a paddy wagon.
That's not worth
She's
much.
thinking about you.
Thoughts
and shares.
I don't think
that's
not going to help. It's not going to help.
Family members, and it's just time that we're kind to each other, no matter what. And
this is cringe. Is a great word. Yeah, these people. She called them these people. She called them these people.
Something that
big no.
Kind of done naturally is just.
Was I sipping my drink there too?
But I know that's probably not the case. A lot of places in this country. So.
That's the bottom of my drink there.
Just my thoughts.
Yeah, the racism is in other places, not here. That's what she's saying.
But I will see you on Saturday for a workout.
Yeah, she'll be over at Saturday.
I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you for listening.
1 week off.
And
1 week off for BLM. 1 week off.
Imagine Karen Reed was black. I think about that sometimes. Like, Think of how different this story would be.
Way
if
different.
Karen Reed was black.
Oh, way different.
It would be a much bigger story earlier, I think. Like a bunch of white people, including a cop, frames.
Oh my God.
Especially if John O'Keefe was black. Like that would be even crazy if they were both black.
Oh my God.
And they get invited to this house full of white people. And then he's dead. And then they blame the black girlfriend.
God.
The
Boston
you think
Globe.
I'm bad? BLM ain't putting up with that.
Oh.
Like, no. They're lucky that Karen Reed's white. Like she's a white woman named Karen in 2023.
Kevin Cullen would be all over.
You couldn't pick a bigger villain. Like it was like so easy. Like, come on. Like all the chips were against them.
They were.
But anyway, so back to this.
There's more. Sweet.
So that's her.
Oh, that's it.
By the way, she had to shut down her business because she's gotten so many negative reviews. Oh, Karl does some workouts with her too.
Oh, let's see this.
See Karl's in this video.
Karl workout. Oh, here we go.
Let's give ourselves a couple minutes here.
Oh my God.
I have a special guest today.
It's Karl.
Look at him.
My husband Karl. He's gonna do it with us. And I put on my Boston police hat. Last time,
it's so cringe. It's just so cringe. Everything about it is just so bad.
Oh my God.
So there's that house again I hope they find out who did that. Fuck them.
Okay. So that was awesome. All right. So thank you very much for sending that. That's too good. So anyway, that's Jackie Dugal. I forgot about that. How because all I remember about Jackie Dugal is when we boo her. Like those are classics, man. Nobody else shows up to court anymore, but Jackie and Karl do. To their credit, they show up. They're down to 2 rows, and it's just Jackie and Karl's there. I sat across from Karl the whole time, and he's like, he knows we're gonna give him the business on the way out. He knows we're gonna, ask him some questions, and people are gonna boo him because they have the right to boo him, and he can't hide behind the witness thing either because he ain't a witness. She doesn't have a personality. I mean, she borrows one, I guess. She plays one on Instagram, but we all know she sucks, and booing her and shit in court, it's like that obviously radicalized her. Like if I were them, I'd be like, fuck him. If I were them, I would hate me with the burning, 1,000 flames. Like that. Oh, I would fucking hate. I understand why they hate me. I would hate me too if I was them. Totally understandable hate. Like I've made them in front of hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, is humiliated, emasculated, and rightfully so. And they continue to come to court and just take it. So I get it. They were at my arraignment, all that. But Jackie just looks like a deer in the headlights when Karl keeps a straight face. Like he's like Mr. Grizzly. Like, look at it. But Jackie doesn't know what to do. She always starts taping us. Like, okay. And then they kissed getting into his old man town car there. Oh my God. Is that Dave McGrath? This is them getting booed on their way into court.
Okay. So Dugal.
Hey, look. Hey, look at this. You guys see that? That's Matt Gutman right there from 2020. That's Matt Gutman. And there's Ken Dugal. And Anthony Bianco. Oh, there's Gretchen Voss. Do you see Gretchen Voss? There she is in the blue dress there. Shame on you. Shame on you. Oh, is this the other Josh Levy? Oh, by the way, this is one of the Canton 9. That's the minor that they're charging. And this is Josh Levy, who I think is the husband. I think that's him, who like stands behind me at all this shit. And just,
Dude, this is all sweat. Remember how hot it was that day?
So, if you're not aware of who that loser is, that's the...
Oh, that's Karl, the cuck. Okay. So anyway, so we have our fun with Karl because he's a loser. And he made this long post about how basically the long and short of it is that he called Karen that morning and was like, "Are you okay?" and like left a voicemail. And then Karen didn't call him back. And he's really mad about that. And she must be guilty that she got out of there. And basically her leaving that house, you know, I understand why she left. I wouldn't have left just because I'm like, fuck them. They're not going to control them. No, fuck. But then that would have been even more duplicitous. If you're like, you know, if I wouldn't have left because I'm like, I'm not going to let them talk shit about me. Like, you got something to say it to my face. I didn't do shit. But that would have almost been more incriminating if she did that, I think, because it's just like, why are you so in control right now? Like, that's what you're thinking about. I feel like what Karen's behavior on that morning was indicative of someone who was in actual authentic trauma and just wanted to be alone with their family, you know, and just wanted to did not feel safe in that house. She felt like the turning of the conversation was against her at that point, that that John was dead and that she was being blamed for it. And she wanted to get the fuck out of there, which I totally get, and go to a safe space with her own family. Who's going to blame a person for that? Karl is the answer to that. Karl was like, she did not call Karl to say, "Are you okay, Karl?" And I could watch the Karl tapes. Can we watch the Karl tape? Can we watch we got to watch the Karl trips to the car. They're so good. The Karl trips to the car are the best. Escorting Karl to his vehicle is a tradition at these court dates. Let's find him.
Disgraceful, Karl!
I see him.
You're a lousy detective.
Oh boy. Shameful.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, I love this. I love it.
There's Karl Dugal. He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace to the Boston Police Department. He's a disgrace. He needs a personal escort. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that coward. He had a lot to say to Karen Reed. He had a lot to say to her on May 24th. Not so much to say now, huh, Karl? Not so much to say now, do you? There's Karl Dugal. He is a disgrace to the Boston Police Department. Karl is well aware that Karen Reed did not kill it. But Karl's feelings got hurt. Karl's feelings got hurt because Karen didn't call him back while he was experiencing trauma. Is that true, Karl? Are your feelings still hurt? Karl, can I ask you something? Why did you keep your car at Karen Reed's house for 6 months after John was killed? Why did you do that? So you were using her, right? She was useful to you, wasn't she? She was useful to you. After she was charged with murder that you know she didn't commit, you allowed your car to sit in storage at their house for the next 6 months. Why did you do that, Karl? Why didn't you go and get your car? Karl, is it true that you got John's car painted after Karen Reed backed into it?
That's just that's a rumor. I can't confirm that.
Are you part of the cover-up, Karl? We apologize for this scumbag coming by. This guy's a horrible person.
I had to apologize to a daycare. It's a daycare.
He's horrible. His wife is just as bad. Her name is Jackie Dugal.
I would say she's worse.
She calls herself Hit Mom. She had a lot to say to Karen Reed. She's a mean girl.
She is a mean
She's
girl.
A bully.
Yes.
She's a bully.
Fact.
She's a bad person.
She is.
She's a disgrace.
This is all true.
And Karl is a glutton for punishment. Look at him. Karl, why don't you wear your ass?
It's just wild that it's like, it's okay to do this to Karl. Like, this is legal to do to Karl because Karl's not a witness. But if you are a family member of a witness, like Elizabeth Proctor or something like that, it suddenly becomes illegal. Like, it's wild. Like, the First Amendment exists unless the person's a witness, and then the First Amendment no longer exists. The whole thing is a First Amendment violation.
Today. Any comment on those? Carl, on the assless chaps. No?
Ooh, interesting.
Look at
Look at them.
What a scum. What a loser. What a loser. Loser. What a loser. Disgraceful, Carl. You're a goddamn disgrace to the Boston Police Department. You bring shame to John O'Keefe. John O'Keefe is looking down from heaven at you and shaking his head. He is shaking his head. John deserved a better friend than you. Here's his old man car. Here's the old man car. There he goes.
I miss it here, but she kisses him goodbye.
Oh, Carl.
They kiss right there. They kiss.
Disgrace. You're a disgrace.
Look at this.
Disgraceful. Disgraceful.
This is great.
It's a disgrace. Look at him.
Look at how mad people are. People are, so, and rightfully so.
Bring shame to the Boston Police Department. What a loser. What a loser.
Look at this. This is like, people will call this a mob. This is authentic anger. Authentic anger. People are just like, you're a freaking disgrace, dude. And we're going to tell you that. Like, you're a fucking asshole. Like, people are passionate about this. They're like, Karen Reed's innocent. It's undeniable. It's undeniable. There's like a mob. There's like at least 40 of us probably in this.
What a loser. A lot to say. Not so much to say now. Why do you do this to yourself, Carl? Why do you do this to yourself? Are you a glutton for punishment, Carl? It's going to be like this. And, oh, she's taping us. She's taping us. I love when she does that. Boo! Loser! Loser! What a loser! That's called... John deserved better friends than that. What a... poor John. Poor John. He must be looking down from heaven and just shaking his head. Just shaking his head in embarrassment for Karl, who's sitting there with the people who...
Yeah, that was the... Then what? We got to watch all the Karl comps. Just for old time's sake. There's that one. And then that was the most recent one. That was in September. We got to watch the July one. No, was this July? No, that was this the one we just watched? Where was the one when it rained? Oh, here. Okay, this is the.
I just got to get Karl on the way up.
Huh?
I just can't miss Karl. Yeah, you want to take a picture? We'll go back.
Where is it?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. Karl, do you think it's appropriate to harass innocent women while they're on the courthouse steps? How come you have so much to say to Karen Reed, but you don't have anything to say to me?
Karl, why do you
Are you worried that you're disgracing the Boston Police Department? Do you think it's appropriate as a Boston police detective?
Keep in mind, it's raining. It's raining right now. This is how dedicated turtle riders are. They're in the freaking rain.
You treating innocent women like that?
Look at her taping us. Look at her. Like, her instinct is to tape. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna film you too. It's like, go for it. You put it in your Instagram. Go for it. Tape me all you want. I don't care.
Do you think that's appropriate? Do you? How do you feel about disgracing the legacy of John O'Keefe by showing up every day with the people who murdered him?
Did anyone really ever call him Jake?
Are you do you feel bad about that at all? Are you ashamed of that? What do you think of Jen McCabe's 227 Google call? Do you have a Google search for how long to die in cold? Well, your supposed friend was dying in the cold. She wanted to know how long
Yeah, there's
it would take
Dave.
for him to expire. What do you have to say about that, detective? What happens when a situation like that is brought to your desk at the Boston Police Department?
So I know she got no shoes on. I love this. She's not wearing any shoes. That's the best.
Do you just often decide who's innocent or guilty based on a feeling? Do you feel like Karen Reed owed you a phone call that morning?
That's dedication right there. Fuck the
You got
shoes.
your feelings
Fuck
hurt
shoes.
by a woman? Is that what this is about? That you got your feelings hurt? That Karen woman who was Karen Reed was experiencing trauma. Trauma. She just watched her boyfriend die in front of her because your thug friends killed her. They killed her. And she didn't call you up to see how you were doing, and that hurt your precious feelings. Are you at all ashamed?
No, look at him.
Are you?
This
How
is
come
this
you
is a
had so
smaller
much to say
crowd.
to Karen Reed that day? You had a real big mouth, and you got nothing to say now. What's up with that?
This is the
Do you have any comment about that?
We
What
pay
do you-
your salary.
One of your own brothers in blue. Disgraceful. How'd you like this happen to your daughter? Your daughter gets wrongly accused of a crime. Murdered. Do you have any comment on that? Any comment?
I don't think it does vanish.
Yeah, what evidence do you think there is? How come you got nothing to say? I mean, if there's so much evidence, if she did it,
This is great.
if she did it, then isn't there mountains of evidence that you could just cite right now? Can you say one thing? One thing. Can you got anything? Do you got anything? Do you have anything? Is that how the Boston Police Department, if they find a body on a front lawn, is the official? Jackie, do you have anything to say? Do you have anything to say? You had a lot to say to Karen Reed. You had a lot to say to John's other ex-girlfriend, who also came to support him.
True.
You kind of thought you were a tough girl there, huh? Intimidating her.
Look at
Really? You got nothing to say now.
Look at the traps.
What is up with that? Why do you have nothing to say? You got nothing to say. Nothing? Nothing. Disgraceful. Disgraceful.
This Ken. This
Disgraceful.
Ken.
Disgraceful. Look at this. Fake cop. Fake cop. Fake cop.
Veteran, my ass.
Fake cop. Disgrace. Disgraceful.
That was too good. That's too good. That never gets old. Now, the original, in case you're inclined to feel bad, oh, why are you doing this to him, Turtleboy? And I'll show, because he's a bully. They're bullies. This is them. That we're going back in time, and now we're going to May 24th, and this is outside of court.
The truth of what happened to John O'Keefe. And me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource.
This is the first time Karen ever spoke.
Just feels like no one else wants it.
And Karen, just to be clear, you didn't do it.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Steve.
We know who did it, Steve. We know. And we know who spearheaded this cover up. You all know.
Like people like, so she's on the spot. Karen Reed, just to be clear, you didn't do it. Now, I'm sure if she'd go back and do this again, she'd be like, no, you fucking idiot. I didn't do it. But her answer was just like, what? Of course I didn't do it. We not only did I not do it, we know who did it, Steve. We know exactly who did this. And now, and then
And no, she didn't do it. No, she didn't.
here's
This is
Karl.
an innocent woman. She didn't.
Here's Karl.
I tried to save his life. I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life.
I was the only one trying to save his life. And guess what? The 911 tape now confirms that that is true. That is a fact. And then Karl the cuck chimes in with this.
Why'd you admit to it?
Why'd you admit to it?
She didn't admit to it. She didn't admit to anything close to that. Nothing close to that. And you should know that.
That was like 3 or 4 times.
No, she didn't.
That's not true.
She asked a question. She asked a question, which is very different. She didn't admit to anything.
That's what it's like. Was it a surprise with the motions to quash? How are you a Boston cop? You're not from Boston.
Time to get to work. Go get him, Turtleboy. Somebody.
Thanks. Excuse me, sir. Just a moment. Aidan, Kearney, Turtleboy Daily News. Just have a couple questions for you. What's your name, sir? What's your name, sir?
I didn't know.
Are you a friend of John O'Keefe? Were you friends with John O'Keefe? Or are you one of these people who's involved in the cover-up? Which is nothing to say. You had a lot to say back there. Hi, miss. What's your name, miss? Are you here to support justice for John O'Keefe or are you here to cover it up? Just out of curiosity, just wondering. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. So I noticed you guys back there said that you believe, why did Karen admit to it? You realize she asked a question, correct? According to their own testimony, that she asked a question, could I have done it? Do you think it's possible that 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗺 put that in her head? Are you guys friends with 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗺?
Or she's making it up.
Who are you guys? Who are you guys? Why are you guys participating in the cover-up of the murder of a Boston police officer? Are you a cop killer? Are you involved? Are you involved? Are you a police officer yourself, sir?
I had no idea who he was.
We'll find out. Pulse Media? No, that's not it.
So yeah, he's an asshole. So in case you were inclined to feel bad for him, also they harassed another woman. So this woman named Lindsay, she's John's ex before Karen, and so she's hung around with these people, and they know who she is, and so she is not stupid. I've become friends with this woman. She's a very intelligent person, and you know, if you're a smart person and you're not some towny moron, you understand that obviously Karen didn't do this. And so she sits with Karen in court now and actually comes as part of her like entourage in court now. And this is what, look at this smug little, see you next Tuesday. The way this is another angle of them harassing Karen. Listen to what she says to Lindsay on her way out of court.
Name Hollins.
What'd you say?
Name Hollins. Name Hollins.
15 minutes of fame, Hollins.
No, I'm supporting Karen. She didn't do it.
15 minutes of fame, Hollins. And she goes, I'm just supporting Karen. She didn't do it. Good for her. Good for her. So in case, that's why it's like, in case they deserve that. Like those tapes are rough of us, like a mob of like 40 people screaming shit at them on the way to the car, but they deserve it. They're bad people. They are bad people. They're not good people. This woman has befriended 𝗺ście 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗃, like become good friends with 𝗺ście 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃, who literally lost 2 of her children to child abuse and is being charged with the crime by Karl Dugal's police department for violating a harassment prevention order and stalking a woman who is the daughter of a Boston cop. That is who Karl and Jackie Dugal stand with. Like, that's their personal friend. So we found out there was a Twitter account. And by the way, this is her stupid fit mom thing. It says here that she is she likes to judge. She likes to juggle what can seem like 1,000 life commitments on a daily basis. Bitch, you sit on Twitter all day. Like, what are you talking about? She likes to carve out some time to better yourself mentally. Like, what is good mentally about sitting on social media all day being nasty to other people? Like, what therapist would be like, oh, you know what's good? Like, okay, so you're in a bad place mentally. You're not doing well. You know what I would do? Just make a fake Twitter account and then just troll people all day and sling vitriol. Be nasty to people, to complete strangers because of their position on the Karen Reed case. That's healthy for your mental health. Of course it is. Yeah, go give that a shot. And then you could be a happier human being. Oh, good Lord. So that's what this is her when she uses her real name. She says shit like this. Now, we all know by now that she's the person behind this Lauren JP account. And this is a nasty, mean girl account. She is a mean girl. I had her pegged the right way when I saw what she said to Lindsay outside of court and Karen Reed. Like, she's a mean girl. And Karl is just the cuck that, is kind of like he goes along, whatever. Like, he's like, I'll be in your stupid video. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll embarrass myself. Sure. Angela Chan O'Donnell. Say what you want about her. First of all, she's pregnant while she's doing this, but she's like, I don't know how anyone could have a problem with this woman. Like, she is very non-controversial. All the women of the kind of select board movement are non-controversial. Like, you don't have, like, I'm controversial and you can say shit about me and I've said some offensive things and blah, 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 blah. None of these people have. None of these people have that on the record. And she spoke at the select board meeting the other day. I meant to do a story on it. She did a great thing. She basically said, I'm protesting Chris Albert at this meeting. Am I a felon? Like, that's insane. And somebody shares the thing, says bravery in action. And what does she say? Cowards with victim complexes. That's what she called her using a fake account. Jackie would never use a real account, and it wouldn't, because Jackie, the public persona of Jackie Dugal is fit mom, mental health, positive mentality. Oh yeah, juggling life responsibilities. Meanwhile, she's sitting on Twitter all day, calling Angela Chan O'Donnell, who nobody has a problem with. Like, if you're gonna have a problem with me, I get it. You're gonna have a problem with this woman? You're going to say coward? She's a coward with a victim complex? What? And I don't care who you are. If you think the Canton 9 are felons, what's wrong with you? You're consumed with hatred if you actually are saying stuff like that. This is what she writes about Deanna Corby. Because they caused an accident, dopey. And why is this slag at everyone that day? You can't send the same 50-year-old. I don't think she's 50. 7-Eleven clerk. As if that would be a bad thing. Like, oh no, she's working class. She's not a 7-Eleven clerk. But it's just like so mean girlish. And again, Jackie Dugal would never put her name to this. Ever. Because she's like a PTA mom. She'd be embarrassed. Like, anonymity can be a good thing and a bad thing. It can be a good thing when you have something important that needs to get out. And you're afraid of losing your job if you kind of want to do the right thing and get information out there. It can also be a real nasty thing when it's just used to sling vitriol at people because you're too much of a coward to put your name on it. She also messaged the page looking to like she joined the Justice page, the Justice for John Facebook page, and tried to post anti-Karen Reed stuff on it. And sent one of the admins a question about why she can't do it. Yeah. And then she shits on Brian Barrera, who's a fucking attorney who filed the complaint against Morrissey. And she calls him a strip mall lawyer. It's just like, and then takes pictures of women's, I mean, a lot of these women, there's Jen Altman's there, Suzanne, Chrissy, Caitlin, a lot of these women have come to or are vocal on social media about supporting Karen Reed. And so what does she do? She just makes fun of their appearance using a fake name. Just sharing pictures of them like, oh yeah, like, oh, look how dumb these people look. I don't see dumb. That's all I see everyday normal people, women who are just feel passionate about this stranger named Karen Reed and believe that she's innocent and are taking their free time to stand up for her. I think that's a beautiful thing. Whereas what Jackie Dugal is doing is a nasty and ugly thing. And she's hiding behind John O'Keefe's family in order to act like it's virtuous. It's not. She calls me AIDS. Very mature. Very mature. AIDS. Where do you go to work? The basement? I actually have an office upstairs I work at, and sometimes I go to Canton, but not lately. I would call you a stay-at-home dad, but you're a poor excuse for a father as well. I mean, nasty, man. I mean, I disagree with that. I feel like my kids like me, you know? And as far as I know, her kids like her too. I don't know. She could be a good mom for all I know at home. I'm not going to talk about that, but it is a poor fucking example what she's doing. You know, it is a poor example. And then she posts, somebody says, she's so much prettier than you. She's like, yeah, hot. It's like, okay. Let's do a quick poll. Quick poll right now. Let's find out. Let's get to the bottom of this. Cause I know Jackie watches every fucking episode. She's one of those. We're going to do a poll right now. I'm going to add a poll question. Start a poll. Okay, the poll question's up. Who is hotter? Karen Reed or Jackie Chin? Vote in the poll. I wonder who's going to win this poll. It's a tough one. Could go either way. I suppose it could go either way. Florida State's winning 13-6. Okay. We got a situation. Let's see. I wonder who's going to win this poll. Right? Oh, 98% for Karen. Oh, man. It's a close one. 98%. So, I mean, you're going to shit on Karen. I mean, but that's what I mean. Just talking about looks. Like, okay. I mean, and I'm not even being biased. Like, there is no comparison. They're probably close to the same age. And I don't think anyone thinks there is any comparison between the two of them. And it's not even close. Not even close. And then they post more pictures of turtle riders. Oh, she got the jerk off video in there. She made sure to include that one. That's my O face, in case anyone's wondering. So she's sharing that one. All these pictures of people. Will he call his boss Karen Reed for bail money? Actually, there was no. By the way, this is interesting. On September 29th, this is the same day Krusty Panties posted about it. They all posted on September 29th that I was going to be arrested. Like, they all knew about it. It was like, this is so obvious that they're in cahoots with the DA's office. It says when Turtleboy is arrested. So they knew I was going to be arrested. Will he call his boss Karen for bail money? No, because it was $0 bail. Zero. Because it's not a fucking serious thing. And then they make fun of Karen's brother. Is Nathaniel okay? Poor little used car salesman. Here's a bad word. I mean, he works at a Lexus dealership in Rhode Island, which I'm told he gave me a free car. That's what they say. Imagine believing that. Oh, I have to poop. Very mature, Jackie. Very mature. Again, she would never put her own name on this. Imagine caring what these people think. Well, I care what they think. I think I care a lot more what they think than, 𝗺cie 𝗁𝗃𝗃, aka 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃. I don't care what she thinks. Did Karen Reed have any? Here, I like this one. She posted, did Karen Reed have any exes who lived? Where are they now, and what do they have to say? That's a great question, Jackie. If Karen Reed is such a psychopath and you can't break up with her or she'll kill you, where are all these ex-boyfriends? Don't they have anything they want to share with the class? Interesting. And also, she interviewed, the account defended Jackie Dugal a lot too. That's what we noticed. How about this? She posts this one about the phones. Why didn't he just turn over his phone if he has nothing to hide? Right, Turtleboy? Oh, that's a great analogy, Jackie. Except there's just one big difference there. I didn't have a dead cop on my front lawn. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not implicated in a murder. They took my, and by the way, you can have all the data on my phone too. I'm not even trying to get the data back from the phone. They can read all the messages. I would just like the physical phone back because it's my property. It belongs to me. Daddy is not ready for Superior Court. Oh, Daddy's ready, baby. Daddy is ready to fuck. Let's go. She's a monster. Imagine saying Rita, fucking 63-year-old Rita Lombardi is a monster. Imagine saying that, tripping over herself to support a cop killing drunk. Yeah, nasty. It calls them the unwashed of Canton. Imagine being 60 and having multiple Twitter accounts to try. I'm pretty sure Rita Lombardi does not have multiple Twitter accounts, but these people just have to make shit up in order to justify their own. These are people with multiple Twitter accounts who have to project their own behavior onto someone else. She posts about Karen nonstop. Sean in the Gulf she hates. She hates all these fucking people. Posts about them all the time. Oops, we are talking about multiple exes plus another woman texting John O'Keefe late night. We have stumbled onto some added motivation for 𝗃𝗄𝗃. Karen to hammer the accelerator. This is the thing they're heading now. It's like Karen just mad because John was leaving her for another woman. Oh, sure. Karen, is it true? Oh, Olivia Lambo, who's a great follow on Twitter. And I think I saw in the chat tonight, they are accusing her of being Karen. This is how deranged these people are. And this is all Jackie Dugal. All Jackie Dugal. It's just madness. She responds to Karen. Hi, Karen, to Olivia. Hi, Karen. Enjoy your lawsuit, baby girl. Okay. How would Olivia know about Jen McCabe's grand jury testimony? Because I posted about it. Oh, she calls them free Karen tards. Oh, retards. Gotcha. Yep. You just described Karen Reed's efforts to block investigators from looking at her phone. They've had her phone for a million years, you fucking moron. She sent 𝗃𝗃, or I don't know, is it 𝗃𝗃 or 𝗃𝗃? I always pronounce it wrong. Turtle Rider lives in Virginia. This fucking postcard with 3 Urban Dictionary terms on it, and then signs it JP, like as in JP Lauren. Like, AKA, this woman lives in Virginia, and she just wanted to let her know that I know where you live. Like, that was the whole purpose of sending that postcard. Anyway, we got her. We found out this moron she doxed herself because of this. Watch this. So she posts, what other receipts do you need? I can keep on going. And post some pictures. And then but look at the bottom. You click on one of these pictures, watch what happens. Oh, what's that at the bottom? What's that at the bottom? Oh, got him. Got him. There it is. It's her fucking license and credit card. Her license and credit card. You guys ever do that? If you have on your phone, if you're like trying to, if you're on your, if you want to screenshot something that's in your photo library, right? Like I can see it right now. And the reel comes up at the bottom. You guys see how I have like the reel at the bottom there? And to get rid of that, I just hit the screen again. It should go away. See, it's gone. You forgot to do that, Jackie. You hit it again, it'll appear. Oh, no, that zoomed it in. See how it appears? The reel appears at the bottom. I can make it go away. You just touch it again. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. She forgot to do that. She forgot to do that. We've all done that before. We've all done that before. And moron has her fucking license at the bottom. Oh my God. So she got caught. There it is. And so now we understand why she's doing this shit. Now, she has responded to this. The Lauren JP account is still tweeting away, being like, that's not me. Oh, Jackie, I know you're watching because you watch every fucking episode. The Lauren JP account made that very clear, Jackie, that you watch every episode. It's cringe. You got to stop. No one's buying it. We all know it's you. Just give it up. Jackie, listen to me very closely. Okay. Please listen to me for your own sake here. You can still do the anonymous trolling thing. You just got to make a new account. The Lauren JP one is done. Everybody knows it's you. You can't, you're not a single person out there believes it's not you. Like, you got caught. You got caught because this is what she ends up posting. This is what she posts. She goes, I want to make it known that the Twitter account recently circulated is not and never was me. Interesting. The blaming, shaming, and bullying is inappropriate, says the bully. Those words and actions are not mine. AKA, she knows that there's something wrong with those words. So the real Jackie, like Jackie Fit Mom Jackie, Public Jackie, Soccer Mom Jackie, she has to say that that's bad. That she concedes that behavior is wrong, which is why she has to do it anonymously. She does it anonymously because she's embarrassed of it. Say what you want. It will fall on deaf ears. I will continue to support John and his family, always hiding behind John's family. Always. pretending like it's virtuous. Her mean girl bullying is virtuous. And, you know, calling people skanks, blah, 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 blah. Just being a mean girl. So we've posted all that shit. And by the way, she even uses the same language. The Lauren JP account says is not, never was. Jackie, the real Jackie says is not, never was. It's like, come on, stop it. Karen Reed is not, never was a murderer. How about that? So anyway, last little tidbit here that I want to point out. So there was a woman went to Canton yesterday on the Justice page. And I got to find this. The 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃𝗃 shop one. This is too good. Again, I have not encouraged any protests in Canton, but I want to show you these. The comments are just too funny. Oh, I got to find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So Judy 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 is her name. This is too good. This is too good. Don't message the page or shit'll come up. Okay. I found myself in Canton tonight. I did a little sightseeing, drinks at the waterfall, dinner at 𝗄𝗵𝗃 𝗵𝗃𝗺's. It was not mediocre. The last picture is Chris Albert coming out to yell at me for snapping a picture of downtown Canton. I should have filmed him, but I was so surprised. He came out the door yelling at me, paranoid much. And some of these comments were just like, I laughed out loud at Deanna's when she's like, he doesn't own the street. Does he think he owns the whole fucking street? He just goes up and down Washington Street, monitoring who's taking fucking pictures. Like the woman goes out. She takes a picture at the waterfall bar. 𝗄𝗵𝗃 𝗵𝗃𝗺's, D&E Pizza. And then she's an older lady. And then Chris, you can see him. Look how mad he is there. He starts huffing. Look, he's coming out. You know, he's going to go yell at her. You're going to yell at, dude, this dude thinks he owns the whole street. He really thinks he owns the whole fucking street. Like, are you kidding me? Does he think he owns the whole goddamn neighborhood of Canton? I mean, I've never seen somebody who offers less and has less to offer and gets the sort of perks that he gets in return. Like, it's wild. Like, just coming out there. Like, no, the police say you can't be here. I'm a witness. And you can't come on this public street because I'm a witness and you're intimidating me. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, people say he doesn't own the pizza shop anymore. Could you send that information if it's true? Because that could actually help me. I've yet to see that anywhere. Let me read a couple turtle chats here. John sends $10, says, you didn't mention 𝗵𝗃𝗺𝗃𝗃 in the article today. Is he also going down? Yeah, of course. He's got to go. Let's fucking go, doctor. I can't wait for the perp walks. Going to be epic. Also, the Dugals just bought a Cape House in Dennisport. Did they come into some money? The workout vids? I'm sure Karl probably makes like 150 or more. But again, that's not that much. For a Cape House? No. The workout vids featuring Jackie's husband, Karl, must be a big hit. Oh, yeah, for sure. Ashley sends $5. She sends me the fall of Minneapolis. Please watch when you have a chance. There's a political corruption in the world. Also, free Derek Chauvin, free Karen Reed, the free Turtleboy. So I did watch the fall of Minneapolis. It was a very compelling documentary. I'll put it that way. And it is, you know, I'll be honest. I assume Derek Chauvin was guilty. And I'm not here. I don't really want to get into it that much. But I definitely think, and again, because this is weird, because like right now we're taking the end police corruption angle of it. But at the same time, it's like what the angle I'm really taking is criminal justice reform and just like this whole idea of like when the mob decides somebody is guilty and then they're found guilty as a result of that. That is what happened to Derek Chauvin. Like that is 100. Like I did not even ponder whether or not he was guilty or not. It's on fucking video. But like when you watch the fall of Minneapolis, there is evidence that was not presented in that trial that fucking matters a lot. Like the body cam, like the officers' body cams were not presented as evidence from the two officers in the back who had the perfect angle, and it shows that he's on his fucking shoulder, not his neck. Like there's a lot of wild shit in that documentary. I will give you that much. And I don't know. That's one thing I've learned about all this is just like, it is a good documentary. But yeah, I don't want to get into it too much, because I'm trying to stay focused here, but it is an overall theme I'm seeing of like, I just think that there is a real problem in this country where we have a bloodlust for putting people in jail like it's not a big deal. Like, and I fault like both political parties for this. Like I look back on the Hillary Clinton, like lock her up things. It's like, I mean, it's a funny chant, but like, I don't think Hillary Clinton should go to jail. Like jail's fucked up, man. Jail is like when you go to jail, you're a slave. Like you are property of someone else. You're literally slave, you know? You lose your fucking freedom. Like that's a big fucking deal. And we're just like, we all get excited about like, I don't like that person, lock them up and that'll make me happy. That's fucking sick. You know? I think that's sick. How we all kind of like, it's like the left would love to see Donald Trump go to jail. Love it. And I think a lot of people on the right, and I'm saying this, it's like, why? What is this obsession 𝗄𝗲𝗄𝗃 should go to jail because she's a fucking criminal. But just like this obsession we have, I think it's unhealthy. I'm going to say it right now. Okay, she broke many laws. Okay, she killed someone? Did she, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that we need to all, I know it's like it's not a winning argument here. It's not. And I think that's the problem because I have a strong right-wing audience. And I think we all need to get rid of this bloodlust that we have for sending the people to jail. Like it's just not a big deal. Like jail's a big fucking deal. Because like all these people I see wanting to send me to jail. Like, do you understand what that means? Jail means I don't get like, it's not just me who suffers. My kids fucking suffer. Like, it's like their dad's in fucking jail. That's sick. That's sick. Colin and Jen definitely belong in jail. Definitely belong in jail. I don't think Donald Trump should go in jail. Like, none of these people should go in jail. Jail? Oh, I'm just so sick of weaponizing courts to go after our political enemies. Like, I think that jail should be for people. Jail should be places for people who are active threats to others and who like seriously fucking like hurt somebody in ways that they'll never get over. You know, like you kill somebody, that pain never goes away ever. And you got to pay for that. You know what I mean? You got to do your time for that. I don't know. That's just my feeling. That's just my feeling. I brought up and again, I fucking hate Hillary Clinton. I'm disgusted by Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote for Hillary. God, I am so grateful to Donald Trump because he saved me from ever saying the words President Hillary Clinton. But it's just like jail. I just think there's some weird, it is a sick feeling that we all have about like, you know, everyone should go to jail. Okay. I just have a feeling. I got everyone fired up about it. My hatred for fucking Jackie Dugal is a million times more than my hatred for Hillary Clinton. And fuck you if you don't like it. Okay. Anyway, you guys are so fired up. This is why I don't bring up politics on this show. Jesus Christ.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. We got to stop politicizing the judicial system. It's not a fucking play toy to go after our political enemies. It's not a fucking play toy to go after guys that we don't like on YouTube. It's not a fucking play toy. It's a serious thing. But anyway, enough of that. Also got a couple cash apps here. Got to read. Carrie sends $20 and says, journalism is not a crime. Love you and all that you do. Oh, thank you very much, Carrie. Very kind of you. Love you too. Brendan sends $25 and says, $1 per each second Wendy Murphy was muted. That's great. The notorious NIP says, lather up those nips, you filthy animal. Thanks, Daddy. Oh, thank you. I don't know how to lather them up. And Jim Ferris Bueller sends $5 and says, suck my fart box, Chief. Okay. Brendan sends $50 and says, new Turtle Rider. Shout out to Judy K. Thank you, Brendan. Welcome aboard, sir. Lisa sends $20 and says, thank you for all you do. You are the best. Thank you for all you do, Lisa. I appreciate that. So, okay. Any more questions you guys have before we call it a night? It's been a long program, but we still have over like 2,000 people here just on YouTube. Over, shout out to the Rumble Rats. The 218E is still over there. Oh yeah, Rumble does not get the poll. What did the poll end up? 94%. Who is the 6%? That's how I know that Jackie's on here. She's using all the burners, no doubt about it. And man, it's like I'm just waiting for Lizzie Proctor to mess up in the same way. You know she's on there heavy. You know Lizzie Proctor is 0% chance she's not like doesn't have like 4 of those accounts. Okay. FSU better not make the playoff. Sorry, I made a whole rant about this at the beginning. If Florida State win, is it over? Okay, it's over. So Florida State's in the playoff. Alabama's out. Alabama's out, man. Who would be a favorite if Alabama played Florida State? Alabama would be a 2-touchdown favorite minimum, maybe a 17-point favorite. Doesn't matter. Ohio State would be a 2-touchdown favorite over Florida State. Oregon would be a 10-point favorite over Florida State. Doesn't matter. Oregon was a 10-point favorite over Washington. They lost. You lost. Don't lose to Texas. Don't lose to fucking Texas in week 2. Sorry, you lost. Those games matter. It's not like Florida. It's not like Alabama murdered everyone this year. They struggled with Ole Miss. Like they should have lost the Iron Bowl. Like, stop it. They basically did lose. Like, stop it. Alabama does not deserve to be in just because they're SEC. Just because that's the only reason. And yeah, they're a fake team. Cincinnati was a fake team when they made it. Sometimes fake teams make it. I'm a Notre Dame fan. Every time we make it, it's fake. You know? Did we just lose the Rumble stream? Sorry if we did. But I guess we lost the Rumble stream. But yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, it's fake. You know, so like this is interesting this year. It's like, so obviously Michigan's the one, which is they're going to be the favorite. They have to win it this year. I mean, I like Washington. I like their colors. I like their colors. I go for colors. I mean, the Washington uniforms look cool. So Washington's the 2, clearly. Texas is clearly the 3, even though they only have 1 loss. And Florida State's the 4. So it means Florida State's going to play Michigan, and Michigan will be a 2-touchdown favorite in that. And Texas and Washington's going to be, I bet you Texas will be like a 3-point favorite in that game. That's my guess. And, but man, so Michigan will be in the championship game probably, and they will play. I mean, that's going to be a good game. The other game's going to be a good game. And this is wild. No Ohio State, no Alabama, no Clemson, no SEC at all. No Georgia. I mean, that's crazy. Georgia is not like none of these fucking teams are in.
No SEC. I mean, it's not official yet. But how the fuck can you cannot have an undefeated Florida State ACC champion like the ACC is not a real conference. You can't do it. It is a real conference. It's an actual fucking conference. Clemson's in it. North Carolina's in it. I know it's not the best conference, but it's a conference. North Carolina State was good to see. Like, stop it. It's the AC fucking C. It matters. Florida State's in. It doesn't matter how bad right now Florida State is. They're not good right now. They beat LSU at the beginning of the year. They smoked LSU at the beginning of the year. That counts too. Those games count. They're in. Florida State's fucking in. Period. End of discussion. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Bama, stop it. Bama's not fucking in. They're both. It doesn't matter if they're better than Florida State. I concede that Bama is better than Florida State. I concede that Ohio State and Georgia are much better than them. Doesn't matter. That's not who gets in. The 4 best teams don't get in. The SEC beats up on each other all season. What conference is LSU in, Suzanne? Oh, right. They're in the SEC, right? What happened when they played Florida State? Oh, they got their ass kicked, didn't they? Yeah, that happened. So I guess the SEC's, I mean, they do beat up on each other. But the best conference in college football this year is the conference that isn't going to exist next year. It's called the Pac-12. It was the best conference in college football this year, and it wasn't even close. You got, I mean, the most top 25 teams, fucking Oregon, Washington, USC faltered at the end, but UCLA was a tough out. Arizona was a good team this year. Go down the list. They're all fucking quality, except for Deion's team. They're good. Even the Cougars, they were a tough out. The Beavers were good. It was a good conference. So there we go. Yeah, we're talking college football. Oh, yeah, I think you guys call it something else. The committee, stop it. I'll bet, come on. You guys are fucking insane. They cannot screw Texas. Texas beat Alabama this year. They're in. Stop it. And Georgia, stop it. Stop it. Georgia. Dude, telling you right now, Alabama's going to be out. And fucking Saban's going to lose his goddamn mind. Okay. Anybody else have any questions they want to ask me before we call it a night? My next prediction on the bombshell for the case, I don't know. Anxious to see the dashboard videos. I mean, Pitt beat Louisville this year. If not, I mean, Louisville would have been a contender for the national championship as well, were it not for fucking 3-8 Pitt or whatever the fuck they are. Next year's the 12-team playoff. So this won't even be an issue next year. My next court date is Tuesday at 9. Unless it gets moved. UMass did not play. UMass played Clemson this year? UMass played Auburn this year. I know that. They played Clemson too? Oh, yeah. Next year, they're going to be in the playoffs. Next year they would be. Yeah, not this year. No, I don't. I'll send him a text, see what he's doing. Yeah, Kevin said I called him a moron because I just couldn't take him anymore. I'm like, dude, you're such a fucking moron. He just said some. Usually I just make fun of Kevin and just toy with him a little bit, but then today I'm just like, dude, I'm like, you're just a fucking moron. Ratchet Madness is going to be all Canton next year for sure. What's going on in my next court date? We are filing a motion for a bill of particulars, and we are announcing that we're filing a motion to dismiss as well. That's a good question. Can you protest when he's not working there? That's a great question. I don't know. They just make it up as they go along. UMass played Penn State this year. That's who they played. Penn State and Auburn. 63-0. They lost the best. Ew. Ew. No way. No, thank you. Okay. I guess we'll call it a night, guys, because it's getting late. It's almost midnight. So thank you everyone for joining me. Appreciate all the love and the donos and all that shit. And we'll see everybody for the next episode of the live show Tuesday night. All right. Peace, Turtle Riders.